For the 20th century, every decade pretty much had an ism.
I need to brush up on my isms.
Hey, yo, what's ism? Get the money. Yeah, it's ism, get the money.
Ideologies are always really kind of difficult because they're ideas, they're different ways of looking at the world, and they all end in ism, and isms are intimidating. So today, let me see if I can help you understand the isms.
Yeah. One time, I thought I told you, nigga. Niggas know a nigga about his isms.
Isms have done so much damage, but people still believe in them.
Talking shit, I might just have to get him. Bitch, I got that flow, I got that wisdom. Bitch, say no to me, I'm Mr. Ism.
I hereby turn over to Ism Incorporated everything I have, including my freedom and the freedom of my children and my children's children, in return for which said ism promises to take care of me forever.
Isms nigga. Thought I told you I'ma have to get him, nigga. Oh, bitch, I got that flow, I got that wisdom. Bitch, say no to me, I'm Mr. Ism.
Isms, in my opinion, are not good. A person should not believe in an ism. He should believe in himself.
And not be clouded with the great isms.
Bitch! What the fuck? Now you about to fucking lose it. Woo. Niggas know a nigga about his isms. Talking shit, I might just have to get him. Bitch, I got that flow, I got that wisdom. Bitch, say no to me, I'm Mr. Ism. Isms nigga. Thought I told you I'ma have to get him, nigga. Oh, bitch, I got that flow, I got that wisdom. Bitch, say no to me, I'm Mr. Ism.
I was like, if you don't get your ass off my channel.
Oh, shoot. Up. God caught me slipping.
I was about to say, I got
paying attention.
My bad. Me either.
Nah, you good.
I got my glasses on.
All right, cool. All right. Let me see. There we go. I'm gonna leave that. I forgot I wasn't using that, I don't think. I think I was the old one.
I like that.
Cool.
Hello,
Bree. Hello. How are you, Governor?
Good. It's like the middle of the day. My sleep is so off that it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be alive right now.
No, I get you. I get that, man. I work better late, so I was up until probably about 5 o'clock editing. I was doing some stuff for Yella.
Right.
So I wanted to hurry up and finish that. I didn't want to leave anything lingering.
Right.
So like 3 videos that I edited. So it should be for like C3 Wrestling. So those should be coming out probably over the next week.
Right.
People like those and appreciate the work. Hello, what's up? And y'all in the building? Life. Good morning. How's it going?
Hello.
How's everybody doing today? What you mean? What you mean?
My so-called life needs to stop being so soothing. I be trying to watch his streams and like learn something, and I just fall asleep. I don't know what it is.
It's just it's a comforting space.
Cozy,
it's a comforting space. Yeah, it's just a nice, pleasant space. There's no toxicity, so there's like nothing to get you like amped up about. Like it's like
so
if
relaxing.
It is like something fun, it's something like life based, like gas prices,
right?
Food costs,
I feel like he definitely has real people. Like, I feel like he's performing on a stage. Like, that needs to be a thing. Just like a live performance where people just lay it on the sides and sleep. Yeah. Like, just put some beds in the audience and just be entertaining so people can sleep. Because people like to leave the TV on, for noise. Yeah. I kind of get it. Yeah. Like, take it on the road. Put a few beds in the audience. Do overnight shows, Like, I bet people would pay to go.
Like live ASMR performances.
Yeah, live ASMR, like live
people to sleep.
Live comfort streams where people can like connect with people in real life.
And also not feel alone too. Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people be like, uncomfortable alone. I know somebody was just in the Discord talking about that because they said they had sleep paralysis.
Right.
What's up, Shakes? Appreciate you, man.
Hello.
Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. He's over there streaming right now. What you got going on over there? You wrestling?
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't really.
I know
been
wrestling
on
was
Twitch
Tuesday,
today.
but I know you were playing a couple of the different games. So I'm curious what you got streaming over there. But yeah, so real quick, what we're doing today, and I'm gonna probably play this kind of casual. Like we're not gonna go heavy into the philosophy, guys. Not gonna go. That's the one I like. See, darn it, that's the one I like. It's so beautiful. Oh my god,
that is a beautiful game. I like watching that game too.
Oh,
I've watched it a few times. I watched different people play it.
Yeah, beautiful game. Oh my god. Anyway, that's the one I can just sit and watch that game. But what we want to do today, we're gonna keep it casual. It's gonna be kind of conversational style. We're not gonna get y'all heavy into the terms and the philosophy. We're not gonna do any big deep breakdowns. It's gonna be fairly simple. But we're gonna use it as a conduit to enter another conversation. So we're going to talk about Immanuel Kant. Can't do it. Can't do it. But we're going to talk about him very lightly, only to introduce his categorical imperative. He tried to build a framework in philosophy that's centered around ethics and morality, universality, universal law, things of that nature. I watched a video about him, but something in there stuck out to me as something that a lot of people seem to be struggling with. And this is just a personal thing of mine. I really feel like Black people more specifically have like fallen behind in the development of codes, creeds, philosophies, things that kind of bind you to a thought process, schools of thought that you can enter into or like guide your life with, principles. We don't seem to, because a lot of us have rejected things like psychology and philosophy because of who those stem from the European lens. A lot of us just do not have anything other than the Black church to hinge our morality and codes on, but we bastardize those too. We loosely follow those codes and don't understand them and don't look into them. But I do think we could be benefited by looking into some of the people who have been, even European, who have been talking about morality, ethics, philosophy, code, all that kind of stuff.
I think, is it because of maybe like having the time to really think about that deeper stuff is something that you can do like out of survival mode or out of like that scarcity mindset? It's going to help you get out of it, but I don't think people who are in it feel like they have the space for it, you know?
That is true, generally speaking, for people that had to like grind their life away just to make their way in life.
Right.
I don't think our circumstances are that now. I think that's more of a story that we tell ourselves. Like a lot of like, even like the lower income Black people, our lives are so comfortable, even on the lower income. A lot of the stuff is kind of mechanized and automated.
Right.
Most people are not honestly out there working like 20 hours a day to pay for their family. You know what I'm saying? Like most people,
yeah, they're not doing that sun up, sun down work anymore.
Not doing that. Not that back-breaking work, not that hard labor. There's a lot of free time in a lot of people's work. Even like, I would say like the young fellas might be more inclined to do physical labor, but a lot of those industries are kind of moving away from putting people in those unsafe positions.
Right.
Now, like stuff like Amazon, they're going to try to maximize your time.
Right.
But they're also not going to give you a lot of overtime either. So a lot of jobs, you might end up having to work 2 jobs. Now, if you're losing hours because you got to transfer from one job to the other, I can see that. I can see people losing time like that. But nobody's really like working like a 20-hour one job backbreaking labor.
Not that crazy stuff.
It's
unless you do overtime as a nurse, and that's still.
Yeah. And if you know a lot of the people that we know that might be a little bit more poor, poverty, they spend a lot of time on the internet.
Yeah.
There's people make a lot of time for a lot of the other things that they want. So thinking about the outcomes, because we'll also hear them talk about the negative things in the world, the things they want to see, what they don't like, but they won't make time to better themselves in meaningful ways.
That's true.
Yeah. I was just reading
we
about
have a lot of time. Doom scrolling. You know what I mean? Doom scrolling takes up a lot of time.
and making TikTok videos and IG reels and all. We find time. I've seen some of the poorest people make some of the most time for a lot of things. For a lot of things.
Because people feel like that's like the new lottery, you know, in a way though too. Like, oh, I can make something and then it'll blow, and my life will be different. So it's like the perception of it being kind of like a new lottery is the part of it.
Yep. I'm gonna go viral. So before we get into it, I just want to introduce very superficially, and I'll refer back to this multiple times. But Immanuel Kant, and I meant to put his little face on here too.
Not his little face. He got a little face.
Well, I just
got a little European face. Okay,
there he is on the left.
It is.
On the
it's
far
cute.
left.
It's very.
Yeah. There he is when he was a younger man. They have a picture of him older, but he's not nowhere near. That's a nice, flattering portrait painting kind of style thing. But the older pictures, he looked really ill. Yeah, but
we need to bring that back. I mean, I guess that's what filters
the portraiture.
Yeah, do a portrait and make me look snatched, bitch. Historically, no one will ever know what I really look like. I want the snatch portrait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I'm with that. Now, so this is Immanuel Kant's Categorical Imperative, and there are 3 formulations of that. And we're going to concentrate mostly on the second one. And we're going to give examples. We're going to have somebody that's talking basically about this, but what we call it today are transactional relationships. And we're going to kind of get into that because there's kind of like everything's transactional, but a lot of us talk about the negativity. So there's a guy, Dr. Orion Terrabrand, he's going to break that down, which I love. Me and Bree are going to kind of react to that. Then I'm going to show a common complaint of relationships, like these bad dating experiences. And we're going to like show an example and how people kind of fail themselves and each other. But reading through this, the maximum universalizability.
I'm about to say, I ain't seen these terms. Long ass word. They ain't say that one in now.
Act only so that you can will that it become a universal law for all. So what they're saying, and when you look into it, what they are most often saying is anything that you're going to do, only do it if you would make it a universal law for everybody. So don't lie unless you want everybody to lie. Don't only do the things that you want every single person to do. That's moral. It's moral when everything you do is what you would want everybody to do. That's a moral thing. That's a universal law. The second one is I
was gonna say the video talked about universal good. Like it can kind of only be good if it's good universally, like across different realms.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you wanted everybody to do it, like if anything that you do or think or whatever, say, if you would want everybody to do it, it's kind of like a different way to say the golden rule. Like doing to others as you would have them doing to you. It's like a broadening of that. If you do it, is it something you want everybody to do? Like, okay, if your friends jumped off the bridge, would you do it? Obviously, it's not a universal good because everybody doesn't want to jump off a bridge. So that should not be a universal law. That's not a universal good. And then the maximum of human dignity, act only so that you will always treat humanity as ends in themselves, never as the means. And that's the one we're going to focus primarily on with the transactional relationships, because you should treat people as where the value is centered. You should treat the person as where the value is centered and not a vehicle to get to the value. And that's what a lot of people do. And we're talking about transactional relationships. A lot of times that's what we're saying. We're saying, hey, I want some value from you, but I'm gonna use you to get to it. Like I want you to, let's say I want kids, but I'm gonna use you to get to the kids. I really don't want you. I'm gonna ditch you after I get the kid. Or maybe I want sex, or maybe I want to feel better about myself. Maybe it's money, maybe it's a free meal. It could be any number of things. But if that's the thing you want, you're using the person to get to it. That means they're just a means to the end that you want. And he spoke against that because that's exploiting somebody. And that's something that
unless they like consent to enter into that kind of like dynamic.
Right. Yes.
Right.
But if your intent is just to do that to somebody and they have not decided just to, donate to you, give to you freely,
right?
Then you're exploiting somebody. Boo. What's up, Nova?
And that's where the consent thing comes in, with like the person can consensually decide to be a means to an end.
Absolutely.
So
some people enjoy being exploited in a weird way. Some people just like giving.
Or just being like that, see it as like a very given thing, or like a very like highest level of service to be used.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody could consent to that, but a lot of times that's not what people are doing.
Yeah, they lie.
Kind of like, they lie or deceive or don't explain. And we're gonna see of some of that deception in the last example. When we go to the TikTok lady, we're gonna see that because she's using deceptive language with herself, and we'll explore that. And the last one is maximum autonomy. Now, this is a big one too. And this is something I had to learn. You have to kind of, when we talk about like identifying who you are, like what is the self? Who are you? Self-love journey. I have to find myself, all that stuff. This one's important here. The maximum autonomy. Act only as though you are motivated by your own rationality, not from outside external sources. And I could put this other video. And this lady, I just was watching this, and this lady was talking about the things she wanted being influenced by social media. She's like, I'm listening to the social media influences too much. They're getting to my head. But a lot of us do not tap in with the things that we want for our own lives and kind of like sit in that concretely. We kind of are moved and swayed by the voices of the crowd. What everybody else says we should have, or what our parents say, what our friends say, what somebody else got. The things your boyfriend got. Girl, I can't be in two places at one time. Anyway. Sorry, intrusive thoughts. It won. But you should be motivated by the things that you desire for your life, the things that you want for your life, and not the things that other people say you should have, the church, all that good stuff. You should be self-directed in that. So those are three of the categorical imperatives that he foundationally put together. People have poked holes in a lot of things he's said and a lot of his theories, but
I was muted.
His philosophy.
Damn, I was like, is that a song when you were singing?
Yeah. If you think you're lonely now.
Oh, I was like, what are
you?
People pleasing us out.
Yeah, people pleasing us out. But you need to know what your direction is for your life instead of allowing it to be constantly directed from other people. Like that, those are imperatives for your life that he thinks are ethical, that will lead to a better life.
Yeah,
but that's our gateway.
Fucking bot.
Yeah, being a bot, being sheeple. Absolutely. But we're about to get into this first guy. Because he talks about...
Here he go.
Yeah, Dr. O. I love this guy because he breaks down some things. And I thought this was a really good one. I thought this was a really good one about transactional relationships. Because I've often said, and I guess it's bad language, because I say this is where Bree calls things moot. Because if it applies everywhere, then it's kind of a moot thing. But it's like we need to find a distinction. And I think he found the distinction. So all things are kind of transactional. There's a give and a take. There's an exchange to everything. Like there's something that you get from it. There's something that you get from it. Everything isn't good or bad, but if you willingly, consensually participate in something, there's probably something that you're getting from it. And it's probably taking something away from you. Even like you're getting on social media. You're giving away your attention, but you're getting some sense of like satisfaction. Maybe you're rage farming, so you're sitting there, you're getting your emotions riled up. You're getting something, you're getting that fuel, you're getting something. People get something from it. To each person is different. But a lot of times what you're doing is giving away money because you're buying something, or you're just giving away your attention, which they can monetize. They can sell that, I've got so many people watching for so many hours and watching so many reels, so many talks, whatever they call them. But it's important to understand that the way we live our lives is transactionally. Right now, if you're watching or listening, you're giving me your attention. That's a part of the transaction that we're giving. And I'm giving some sort of information or entertainment because you all find me extremely fascinating. What'd you say?
Soul juice.
Soul juice? No.
Some people just like what? We just absorb the energy of other people's soul
I don't like the word the soul juice. I don't want to hear soul juice. No.
I that's like soul juice.
You know what that sounds like? It reminds me of the social lubrication. Nope.
Social lube, soul juice, soul juice. Get used to it.
Oh my God, it is. Soul juice. Yeah. Y'all can't have my soul juice. Leave my soul juice. You don't get to choose. I want to choose.
Nope.
Leave my soul juice alone. It still trips me out how people live by committee. Absolutely. Soul juice. You know what I'm saying? That sounds bad. I don't like it. Anyway, but he gets into transactional relationships. If they're working, they're invisible. And I find that to be such a fascinating distinction. Brad can't even type right now because he's getting on so hard to stream. The pixels are dazzling us. Thank you, Noble. Appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about.
And this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is, in a good relationship, the transaction is invisible. So the fundamental thesis of my forthcoming book, The Value of Others, is that relationships are the media in which value is transacted. Mm-hmm. Where no value is transacted, no relationship exists, nor can a relationship exist.
And I think that's important to note. A lot of the things you do, if there's no value for you, you're not going to keep doing it. You're not going to keep doing it. You're not going to have a relationship with a person, place, or thing if it holds no value. So if you are constantly doing something that you say you don't like, you don't enjoy, you have to consider, well, what am I getting from it? Why am I still doing it? There's something. Sometimes people do stuff just like living by committee. Some people will do things just because they believe they're expected to, or they want to be seen doing it because they get some kind of social status. Like there's a lot of people that do things that they don't enjoy, don't want to do, simply because they get some secondary, some ancillary benefit. The fact that I'm a good person because I was seen in church every Sunday. And that fuels something. Your face, that like bad soul juice when I said that.
Yeah, I can't relate.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah.
I think I was just born with the push back against that. So I just don't know what it's like to be that way.
And I get you. I had to fight that. That was something I fought. I'm one of those people. I was perforated. A lot less perforated now. A lot less perforated.
They'd be folded up.
Yeah. I mean, I was in a whole school. Like I was going to school, but I was young. You know, I'm like 18, 19. Right. I was in schools that I didn't want to attend. Like taking out loans to go to school because other people thought I should do it. Not because I wanted to do it. I knew I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't listen to myself. I wasn't strong enough yet.
Yeah, like your own.
Yeah. My own voice wasn't powerful enough yet, but I learned.
On the other hand, the mere transaction of value is both necessary and sufficient to have a relationship. Now, the idea that all voluntary relationships are at heart transactional can rub people the wrong way.
It does.
Sometimes it rubs people the wrong way due to a deficit of insight or self-awareness. However, it can also rub people the wrong way because this position kind of runs counter to their felt experience. Like these people are in relationships that they don't experience as transactional. They don't think of their relationships in this sense, and they certainly don't feel like it fits with respect to their particular case.
Now, listen, I'm going to tell you one of the invisible transactions in society that everybody keeps asking. There's a big thing, I'll say in the manosphere space. And it's also, I say from the Black church, but the single mother thing, that's a big thing in the Black community. But a lot of people don't understand that there's an invisible transaction there. The child, one, needs the mother. And that need can fill an emotional void in the mother. So a lot of times there's that, I said this once before, but like a lot of times kids in our community are not as a function of somebody wanting to build a family or create a legacy, or obviously it's not to have help on the farm. A lot of times it's to fill an emotional void. Somebody that they want to care for them. And a lot of times care feels like need. Oh, you need me. I'm doing things for you. And you love me because you're responding positively to the things that I give you out of need and want. So a lot of times we use our children as emotional tethers. So the moms, when everybody talks about the attachment of moms, like the mother's boys or a lot of that kind of stuff, it's a lot of the women in our community don't know that they're doing this, but they're transacting off of their children emotionally. But it's not talked about. It kind of goes unnoticed, and everybody's like, well, why do y'all keep having these kids?
Until they older sometimes. Sometimes once the child is old, like an adult, and then they try to go off and have their own life. That's when you kind of start to see the conflict. Yeah, exactly.
Conflict creeps up. But even still, a lot of times they don't identify it. They be like, oh, she's overbearing or she's controlling. But why? Like, what's the reason for that wanting to invade the child's life and not let them grow up? And a lot of times we don't really speak to that aspect. Like, it's because it's emotional vampirism. Like they're sucking the blood out of their children. Like that's an accepted relationship and an accepted transaction. that I think we need to talk about more, because it's everybody knows, like, why is it so acceptable for you to have a child, but you're like, a marriage is serious. It's more serious to have a child.
That's still weird. Like we have kids so easily, and we don't like get married easily at all. I mean, even myself, I don't think as an adult I've ever been to a wedding.
Ooh, okay.
I've never been.
I've been invited to two. I've been invited to two. Yeah.
The people I know, I mean, I have a few friends that are already married. Like I made some friends, they were already married. So, you know, by the time I met them, I was in college. And so maybe they were already married. And then I have a good friend, she's already divorced, so she's not trying to get married. I have some childhood friends that have just never gotten married to this, like, still. But like all of them have kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even myself, I didn't have a wedding. So. And none of my brothers had weddings. Like all of us are married. None of us had weddings.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you said all of y'all are married though.
Yeah, we're all married.
So it wasn't an aversion to getting married though. Like that's like the thing I was speaking to in the community. Like, there's an aversion to getting married.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there is an aversion to get married, because like I have a lot of childhood friends that are just not married and don't want to get married, but they like have kids. So
yeah, because that transaction is very apparent. Everybody's like, well, then I'm gonna have to do something for this person. This adult's gonna have wants or needs that I don't want to satisfy. I don't want to have to give anything in the transaction. They don't notice it with the kids, because you're having these kids, and the kids are going to have wants and needs too, and they think they're all going to be comfortable, but they end up not. We see them crying on TikTok all the time. We see them playing on TikTok all the time. Motherhood's so hard. Oh, it's my God. Hard. Yeah, it requires something. It's a transaction. It's going to cost you at some point. Maybe at first it's easy. Maybe at first you have the support. But man, why is the aversion present though?
Because I think some of what we're talking about, and there's no really good reason. I mean, if you start to take away like societal pressures or school of thoughts that make it important, like that's the thing most people don't understand. Like we decide what's important, and if we don't have things to make things important, then they just aren't. Like I think people believe, like a lot of people who kind of think one way, think that there are these inherent things that are really super important in life. But the reality is there isn't. That thing doesn't exist. We as people decide what's important. And we used to have outside things that determine what we would decide is important, like social agreements or contracts, like religion or culture, like certain cultural things that we decided normal. But once you realize there's really nothing that is actually the one truth, you just have to pick a reason. And I don't think most people are self-directed enough to pick a reason for them that's good enough to confidently move forward with. Because like Rashawn said, your own voice isn't even strong enough. Yeah, for you to say this is just, like this is important because I said so. And so I can just say this is important because I decided it was. And I will have enough confidence to move forward 100% with that. But that's hard to do.
It is hard. Yeah, it's harder for some than others, and I think that's why it gets muddy, because people be like, well, "Why can't you just do it? I did it." And well, everybody's not. We're not cut from the same cloth. We have different temperaments, dispositions. Like we have to accept that people are different. I also think with children, the relationship is guaranteed for the most part. Marriage is not in a way, and that's exactly what I mean by the invisible transaction. Because people assume that the child relationship is guaranteed, and that's what Bree was talking about. They find out later it's not. Because children are rejecting a lot of their parents, not speaking to them, not dealing with them. There's a lot of hurt from parents when the child leaves, because it's like, oh, I thought that was guaranteed. It's not. That's a whole individual, and what you're doing is you're exploiting their need and dependence. A lot of parents exploit the need and dependence of their children for their own emotional well-being, and that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's what we need to talk about, because it's not guaranteed. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
However, like so many other things, just because we can't see the transaction doesn't mean it's not there. Assuming sufficient insight, the reason why people might not see the transaction at the heart of their relationships is because their relationships are working. You see, in a good relationship, the transaction is invisible. It's only when the relationship becomes unsatisfying or dysfunctional that most people can catch a glimpse of that transaction. Allow me to explain. Like many people, I'm in a transactional relationship with a power company. In exchange for money, they deliver electricity to my house. A while back, I set up automatic payments to this company, which functionally means that I can go months without even thinking about this utility. When I flip a switch, the lights come on. And when they push a button, they receive their payment. With respect to our own transacted goods, everything is effortless and mutually beneficial, even though both of us are functionally pursuing our own self-interest in a strictly regulated contractual relationship. So long as we are both getting what we want, the transaction is invisible. And I'm going to be satisfied with this relationship in inverse proportion to how much I notice the transaction that serves as the basis of our relationship. Because when am I going to notice this transaction? Not when things are going well. When things are going well, the transaction is invisible. I'm going to notice the transaction when things are going badly. Let me tell you, when I experience a power outage, I am very aware of the transactional nature of our relationship. I'm thinking, I'm paying X amount every month as a utility fee, irrespective of my kilowatt hours, and I subsidize their infrastructure with my tax money. This is an outrage. They had one fucking job and they couldn't even do that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. By the same token, if I ever were to stop paying my utility bill, the transactional nature of our relationship would become highly visible to the energy company. They would undertake increasingly aggressive efforts to recoup their loss, and if they couldn't, they would ultimately shut my power off. And I don't think any person would consider these responses to be somehow unreasonable.
Nope, not at all. And I think that was a great example so everybody can kind of see it. And we kind of see this practically in our everyday lives. You hear us talk about grocery prices a lot. Like once the prices went up, all of a sudden the transaction became more visible to us. If we were just buying groceries, I just bought some stuff, you wouldn't think about it. But once the prices started hitting them pockets and it felt like it was costing you more than it was fair to ask to pay, well, then the transaction becomes very noticeable.
That's basically what every relationship argument is. I mean,
oh, this is costing me more than I thought it would. Exactly.
Yeah, you start listing off the stuff, start getting the
energy.
receipts, listing off all the things you do, and
I did this for you, I did that for you, and you didn't give me any appreciation, or
that's
you're not grateful.
I'll never stop singing the praises of like a show like Interview with the Vampire. You get to see different relationship dynamics and what it sounds like. That's basically what it is. I do this, you do that, or I do this and you don't do that, or that's like almost most relationship arguments. Say if everything's fine until the books aren't balanced anymore.
That's exactly it.
Now, the same thing holds true for our romantic relationships. When we feel like we're getting a good trade, that is, when we're getting at least as much as we're getting, then the transactional element is completely invisible to us. We're not thinking about it, we're not talking about it, and we don't feel that it even exists. We just kind of think, I'm in this relationship because I love this person. The transactional nature of the relationship only becomes visible and apparent when things start to go wrong. Trust me, if you start to give more and get less, you're going to become increasingly cognizant of that dynamic over time. And of course, that would only be a problem if relationships were transactional.
And it's so crazy, man. I was just having this thing too. I'm like, man, I bring everything to this ism show. I'm like, I'm smart, I'm funny, I'm handsome. I just bring everything. And what does Bree do? She just kind of just comes and sits there and nods and says, And I'm like, what? Why is she here? Like, why is she? What? Why are you even here?
I give you space to be, I give space.
I get you. You know what? You offer contrast. I'm so amazing, and everybody gets to see you be so mid that it's like, wow, he's even more amazing than I thought.
I be chilling. You need that space. You know what I mean? You do. If I do too much, but that's true. If I do too much, you like get uncomfortable. You'll get uncomfortable. You would. I have to give him space to be able to like do his Rashawn thing. I can vibe, I'm not losing anything. I be vibing.
I was joking, but that sounded real. Now I want to hear. Dude, you should do more.
It's true.
No, don't hold back.
I'm not holding back. I said what I said. There was nothing else.
You said you got to give room. That's I
give space, so that you can be Rashawn.
Oh my God, I was just joking, Bree. No,
it's not a negative.
I want Bree to be here too.
Rashawn likes to plan. He likes to have control of certain things. loosely, not like super crazy over controlling, just like
this
loosely.
became a therapy session.
Yeah,
Ooh,
like he needs an outline of things. He needs for him his own self. He needs to feel like there's structure there. I'm very structureless. So like I give him room to like structure things how he needs to feel like, okay, I know what we're doing. And I just show up for the vibes.
Okay, all right, okay. What kinds of things? Loosely. That's dope.
Just a general outline.
Yeah. No, I am very. So just so y'all know what that is. It's my anxiety.
Yeah.
I do not function well in ambiguity. Yella and Bree are masters at just like, I just pop up and I can talk about anything. I can talk about the creases in a walnut, and I could do it and just fine. And I'm like, why are we talking about a walnut? What kind of what do you mean a walnut? Like, why are we talking about a walnut? And I get so angsty, and in my mind, my anxiety needs to know something. Yeah.
He'll be like, is there something else we're supposed to be talking about? Like, is there how did y'all both just decide we were going to talk about this? Like,
yeah. So why are we talking about walnuts? Is there something I need to know about walnuts? Like, my mind just starts rambling and racing. So yeah, I do, for my own comfort. She is right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
I do need some structure that I have to like implement just for my own sanity. Because I cannot just talk off the cuff. I feel so uncomfortable.
So there you go. See?
Yeah. There's a hidden transaction I was even unaware of that Bree was giving me space. I didn't even know I needed space.
I can be very structured.
Yeah.
But I also don't prefer it either. So we get it both from, because I know I can just show up and Rashawn's going to kind of give structure. Because if we really try to do this with no structure, it'd be a hot ass mess. So like I get the benefit of like not having to really do structure. He'll give just enough, you know?
Yeah.
So I get to just vibe, you know?
That's what's up.
And before I go any further, if you're liking what you're hearing, please consider sending this up the channel grow. Available for pre-sale on week. So if you'd like to sign up, you can do so. I'm interested in booking a paid.
Got deals on deals. Deals.
Yeah, he threw them transactions up in there, didn't he?
Pow, 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 pow.
Yeah. Hey, you watching me? Why don't you buy something?
I got a book. I got that like button. You can subscribe. You can become a member, bitch. You can suck my dick. You can be on my Patreon. I mean, I'm just saying.
There were two Rashans. The show would be like the Clear Eyes commercial. I don't know if I like what that sounds like. I don't even know what that. I can't even remember the Clear Eyes commercial. Ooh, that sounds bad though.
You know what? You should have been a professor. Because I think Rashawn is a good lecturer. But I know most people don't come to YouTube for real
lectures. Yeah.
I mean, I do watch lectures, but you know, most people ain't.
I do. Yeah, most people ain't. It's the people I'll say our cohort, the people we mingle around, they don't come for lectures.
Man, niggas don't be trying to watch that. Let's just be real. Because I be over. I started watching Jordan Peterson when he was still lecturing. Really.
Yeah, that's when I found him too. Yeah, he was still in that classroom. With that whiteboard.
Lectures.
Oh my God! Yeah, I like a good lecture. Yeah, you're right. Dang.
Finally, please fill out an inquiry form on my website if you're interested in booking a paid consultation. Links to everything in the description. Let's get back to it. If relationships weren't transactional and they just ran on love or vibes or whatever, then it shouldn't matter whether you were getting a raw deal. The transaction should remain just as invisible when things are going poorly as when things are going well. But that is decidedly not what happens. People start to think things like, I'm doing a lot more of the housework around here.
Yeah, I'm married, but I'm a single mom. I'm a married single mom. I'm doing all this housework. Yeah, it feels really about love. If you really love being a mom and you really love being a wife, why is doing more of the chores a problem? Because the transaction is important to you.
That's why I like to be out in the open about how much I hate doing stuff, so people know what they're paying for. I feel like that's a better way to know what you're paying, what you're getting in the transaction. If someone's like, I literally hate doing this, and you see them doing it, then I feel like, doesn't that make you feel more love that somebody hates doing something and they're doing it anyway?
Absolutely. But that's something that we feel uncomfortable, like he said, talking about what the transaction is. We want people to feel like doing these things. Like I had a whole argument.
My fucking pet peeve. Like you're just being a fucking control freak. Why I gotta like it?
You gotta like it. your feelings, and that's what he was just talking about. Like, if it was really about the love and the passion and the vibes, when somebody ups the ante on the transaction, you wouldn't flip out. But everybody does, because it's hard to recognize the transaction behind the feeling. The feeling masks the transaction, and we don't think about that a lot of times. And I would even say that, like, even as the viewer, like, sometimes the cost that let's say a person like me, whatever you want to call it, a streamer, the cost that we impose on y'all by constantly asking y'all to do certain things and to put up with our personality quirks. Maybe we start yelling at y'all. We start yelling at y'all. Y'all need to do this, lecturing y'all like in a negative way.
Motherfucking likes up, bitch.
Yeah, we're gonna stop the stream. We're gonna stop the stream until we get 59,000 likes.
Right.
Like, that's a cost. Like, okay, now you're costing me time waiting for other people to respond to what your need is. So now that cost, me waiting for you to get enough likes to feel good about yourself, is now costing me the entertainment product I thought I was coming here for. It's like there's a transaction, and that's the entire point. No, that's what this entire thing is about. The transaction isn't bad. So let's go back to this. Number 2. Act only so that you always treat humanity as an ends in themselves, never as the means. So if you are only dealing with a person for the transaction, that's what makes it unethical. If you are only dealing with Bree simply so that you can get a free puff kitty, puffy cat. If you're trying to come to Bree so that you can get that puffy cat shirt on discount, you're using her to get a discount on something that you want. You're using her as a means to an end.
Yeah.
And if that's the only reason you deal with Bree, solely so that you can get that discount, that's unethical.
You horse.
Yes.
No, you know what? That made me think of a conversation I had with Shy Cutie, like offline, about sometimes in marriage. I don't think, like, we were talking about husbands specifically, but it goes back and forth. I don't think people who are married think that they can actually, like, degrade their spouse. Like, and I'm not talking about kink or like BDSM, because that's cool. But like, if that's what you like. But I mean, just like how you can feel degraded as a human inside of marriage, where you feel like there's these agreements that you're supposed to do certain things. I don't think people realize that they can, like, actively do that. You can make someone feel like disgusted with themselves by treating them like a means to an end if they didn't consent to that.
Yes.
And that's kind of what they're talking about. And
we, in relationships, we very rarely consent because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about the things. We have all these gender expectations, and that's the kind of transaction we expect. You do the feminine thing, I do the masculine thing. God. Right. So that's and because now masculinity and femininity and the byproducts of that are kind of like up in the air, people are kind of renegotiating the transactions because we don't know what to expect. Well, I used to be everybody told me I'd be able to expect the man to pay. Everybody told me I'd expect the woman to be able to show up like this.
Because people don't even be knowing what the fuck they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They just be having some loose idea in their head about what it means. Don't be knowing what the fuck it means for them, but got all these ideas about what it means for everybody else. I'd be like, listen, I don't identify as none of this. So I don't know. You're gonna have to, like, my pronouns are she, her, but damn, I'll be seeing why people be like, I'm gonna slide them on over today, just to be an asshole, because, like, I really need y'all to get this.
Yeah,
I see the utility in it now.
Yeah. Having the gender roles and gender expectations was like a social contract, and everything was clearly spelled out. You knew what everybody was supposed to do, how they're supposed to show up, how they were supposed to engage in society. Everything was like laid out for you, and if they deviated, everybody could see it. It would just look weird because everybody was kind of acting on code. Well, now with no code, now you need to
feeling like when you signed up for a trial or something, and then they didn't say they were gonna keep charging you.
Yep.
Or like charge you for a year or something. You'd be like, okay, you get a free trial, and then they charge you for a fucking year, and then you can't cancel it.
Yes.
That's what it be feeling like.
And that's why people are so reticent, or they don't want to get into relationships, because nobody wants that surprise. And nobody wants to have those uncomfortable conversations. Like, what can I expect from you? And
nothing.
They don't want that question in return either. Well, what can you expect from me? Like,
right. Because they don't be having an answer.
They don't have. It's just me. I'm gonna show up, and then if you love that enough. You love that enough, you'll be able to give me all the stuff I want in the transaction. That's what people want.
Good luck.
Love me enough to want to do the dishes.
Sorry.
Or I really think we should be having more sex than we do.
Like facetious laugh.
And what these comments and countless others effectively communicate is, I'm noticing that I'm giving more value than I'm getting in return. And that perceived unfairness is reducing my ability to enthusiastically remain in this relationship. It's just like me paying for electricity that isn't being delivered.
Man,
when people...
I get so unenthusiastic when the internet is paid, but I'm not getting any connection. I get very unenthusiastic.
That's annoying.
It's very annoying.
But it's also, that's a good idea of what people are willing to do when they don't get what they expect too. Because some people just be like complaining at the house. Louis, I can't, I don't do that because I'm writing letters, I'm pulling up, I'm calling. I'll be on hold. Oh, you're not gonna discourage me with no hold time because bitch, I'll put my AirPods in and I'll be walking around on hold. I've sat on hold for over an hour.
So what does that look like in a relationship?
People who don't confront and talk about what they want, or they just passive aggressive.
So like they withhold.
Yeah, they withhold.
They probably withhold.
Either they passive aggressive, or if they do finally blow up and say something, they don't have no kind of solution that you can actually do anything with. It's just gonna be an explosion, and then you still got to come up with what to do about their explosion.
Man.
So it's never really like them handling anything. It's just either like exploding or withholding.
Exploding or withholding.
Yep.
Man.
People feel like they're not getting enough of what they want.
So real quick, so maybe from your experience. So if something like the transaction became apparent and people are caught up in that cycle, like how do you get out of that? Like, so you're there, there's a breakdown. You're not doing the thing I wanted you to do. We're having friction. We're having conflict. Now we're probably having an argument about it. You don't do or you keep doing Like, okay, so that's where the point of contention is. Somebody blew up. The other person maybe like maybe y'all standoffish, maybe y'all somebody stormed out and y'all just need some time. But how do you resolve that? How do you resolve that inside of a relationship? I know you have experience with stuff like this. Those are negotiations.
First, I would, for me, if someone's coming to me and saying, you're not doing this thing and it's making me feel away, I'm going to be like, okay. I think typically what I do is I will ask them kind of what their experience has been to make them come to that conclusion. Okay, like what's your experience to me that makes you come to that conclusion? And I'll kind of listen to them, like, because I think Dr. K talks about the narrative. It's not really about the truth. It's about the narrative, because I want to know what the narrative they're telling themselves more so than the facts. So like I'll listen to their narrative of what's happening, and then I will like kind of put together a through line based off what I'm hearing them say. So then I'm trying to understand like what they're telling themselves I'm doing. So then like from there, for instance, we had one of these recently. Like we had a little tiff like, oh, you don't seem to be interested in anything. So I like suffer with fighting off the urge to dissociate or depression sometimes. So I can get in these spaces where I'm not interested in anything. So like, okay, you're not really interested in anything besides kind of what you want to do or whatever. Okay, that's more than likely true. Okay, tell me why you feel this way. They starts telling me like, oh, this and this, and then they're giving me evidence to back up their conclusion, right? So now I'm like hearing behind what they're saying, and everybody, oh, you're not saying I don't have any interest in anything. You're saying I don't have interest in you. Okay, now I'm listening to that, and I'm like, okay, so now let me see if now I can give you information about my experience of the past span of time of why I'm doing the thing I'm doing. And then when I'm telling them my experience, I'm paying attention to see if they can accept that at all. And then like, typically what happens is no, they can't accept that at all.
They're committed to their,
they have a narrative, right? They can't accept that at all. So then at that point, I'm just like, okay, you sound like you cannot hear that.
Yep.
What my humanity, because typically it's just like, I'm fucking depressed. Oh, you can't accept that. Okay, great. So now we have to have a conversation about what is it that won't allow you to let me be human in this moment? And it usually comes back to the transaction, the balance of the books. Yep. Well, because if I let you feel human, then I feel like I'm letting you get away with not holding up your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
That typically is what it comes down to. Like, I'm giving you a pass to be lazy or not hold up your end of the bargain. Now we can have a real conversation, because now the conversation is, well, what's the bargain? Because I didn't agree to this, and this, and this, and that. So where did it come from? Then typically, like, the response is vague. Or like for me, I'm like listening, because I'm like, I'm me, so I'm just listening, and I'm like, okay, what it came down to in this case was gender role expectations that were not communicated. Which for me is annoying, because I don't identify based off gender role expectations.
Yeah.
So that's why we were, it was like this underlying issue that wasn't being communicated at all. Just an assumption that I understood the world the same way they understood the world. Yeah. So I basically had to say, like, I don't see the world that way. So you're going to have to, I'm sorry, I understand that that's how you see it. That's not how I see it. So now what?
Man, that makes perfect sense.
And that's like a really hard conversation to have. And for some people, that's an ego blow as well. And it comes back to that, well, don't you love me enough to do stuff? I mean, but it's not about you, though. I just don't see the world that way. So it literally does not exist to me.
Yep.
So a lot of times people will feel like dismissed unnecessarily, because it's like, you're putting yourself in where you don't belong.
Yes. Boundary violation.
Yeah, like it's not even a consideration for me. So to put yourself in the space of the thing that's not a consideration is a disservice to you. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know why you're choosing to do that. Like, I'm telling you, I don't think about things that way. Yeah. And that's the space you want to exist in. So you're going to keep being ignored and like not acknowledged. Yeah.
It's like saying, like, oh, I come on NBC. Why don't you watch NBC? You're like, I don't watch. I don't watch network television. Yeah, but I'm on NBC. Like, watch NBC. I don't watch network television.
I don't be over there. Like, you keep on talking about NBC shows, and I don't watch NBC shows. And then when I like tell you I don't know what that is, you feel like I'm rejecting you because you just love NBC shows. I'm like,
I just don't. Yeah, my attention never is over there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not personal.
I don't know what it is. Well, you're rejecting me. So yeah.
So let me ask you a question from your experience. How do you verbalize that? How do you get to the narrative? Because what I found when I'm trying to investigate the narrative that somebody's telling themselves, it comes across like and it's probably antagonistic. Yes. Because see, like, you can't say, I want to know the story that you're telling yourself. I ain't telling myself no story.
Don't say that.
Yeah. So how do you go about investigating? Like, how do you find it out? Because I'm not
to say. Well, it's just like, you gotta just ask them. Like, you can just ask them. Just be like, what? They'll say, because most people aren't, especially passive aggressive, they'll be like, oh, this is not getting okay. You're like, I hear. You kind of got to talk to them like a therapist, low key.
Yeah.
Because you be like, okay, I hear you saying, okay, because it was like, well, what's wrong? What happened? Nothing happened. And you're like, okay, so nothing happened. That's the problem. Nothing happened. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm hearing is that you expected something to happen and then nothing happened. Can I ask you what you expected to happen? I mean, nothing really. This is circular talk.
Yeah.
So that means that, like, you don't want to say the thing. Maybe you feel ridiculous, or you don't feel like you have the right to say what you expected.
Jesus Christ.
You expected it. So let's go ahead and say what it is, right? And then they'll say that, and then it's hard. It is antagonistic.
It is, because it's confrontational. Because I even had an argument about that. I'm like, yes, I am confronting you, but it's not like I'm attacking you. I'm like, it's different. It might feel the same, but I'm like, it's different.
You have to be okay being that's why I say I'm okay with being the villain.
Yeah.
I have to be the antagonistic force here, or it won't come out. So if I'm being antagonistic, I'll be like, yeah, I am. But it's because I want to understand, you know? So now some people don't have the emotional capacity to
That's true.
Stay engaged at that point, because it's really triggering for some people. Like, that's really triggering for some people, for you to, because they're like doing things to like scare you off, and you're not running.
You're not react.
So then they're like, a lot of people will panic at this point.
Yes.
And either dissociate or blow up.
Yep. Yep.
So good luck. Don't pick a partner who dissociates or blows up, maybe.
That's a good point, but I like that because trying to get to. I've tried like
it's hard.
Because it sounds like there's a specific like a story, like a script, like there's a story running in your head that I just don't have access to. That's why it's never been received well. I really don't, but that's what it is. It's like there's a script running, there's a story, but I can't see what you're seeing.
You can. I think what the language that tends to be like okay, I found is, can you tell me your experience of me?
Your experience, those words that does not come off my tongue.
Yeah.
Can you tell me your experience?
Can you tell me your experience of me?
I
mean, but it's good though. I like
it. It is, but it's outside of my lexicon. I wouldn't say anything that way, and it would sound inauthentic if I said it to somebody. I can already tell.
Well, they would be like, "Well, why you say it like that?" But it's like because like I can't see, I don't experience myself.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't experience myself. I can only.
Tell me what I did. Tell me what I did.
Yeah, basically tell me what I did. But like telling,
I gotta listen.
Yeah, but framing it as like tell me your experience of me is also telling you that you're not gonna argue with them because this isn't about the truth. It's about their experience of you. Yeah. Versus if you're like tell me what I did, that's more of like I'm on trial.
Information.
I'm going to defend. I'm gonna counter.
Got you. Yeah, that does sound.
I'm gonna push back.
Get the facts straight.
Yeah, if you say something I feel is wrong, I'm gonna push back. Versus like you tell somebody, "Oh, tell me your experience of me." That's letting them know, and you know that you're not here to argue with them. The point you're there to understand how they've experienced it.
I'm about to figure out a way because I'm never going to say that. That'll never
work. You should say it. It really works. It really.
I mean,
works.
It might. I don't ever want to say those words. For some reason, it just feels uncomfortable.
Why? Because you don't want to know how you're experienced?
No, I want to know how I'm experienced, but because I actually have had that conversation. Maybe that's why it's uncomfortable. I had an uncomfortable conversation around. I asked people how they experienced with me. I'm not okay. That's what happened. I can tell. I can feel it. I found out how people saw me, and I never really wanted to ask that question. If do yourself a favor, people, do yourself a favor. And I think I got Inya to do this once with her kids. I think I at least got her. I got her to ask them to imitate her, maybe. Because that's somebody acting out how they experience you.
Yeah,
but
that works with kids for really well.
Ask the people that you care about how they experience you, and it surprised me. And I knew I shouldn't ask that question, but that's when I found out that my playfulness wasn't playful to everybody. Some people it felt like
a dig, like sometimes it's digs or
they called it what did they call it? What was the word? They called it not problematic. Oh. I can't remember the word. The word is lost on me now. But I promise you, it hurt me to find out that it was received negatively and that they didn't want to they were worried about he's about to come be playful again. He's about to
I gotta be on guard when he gets in that space because it's like a passive aggressive mechanism maybe or I
never knew people felt that way, and it's hard to find out when you think you're showing affection that people find you unenjoyable. It's actually the verse. They're repulsed by you showing affection. Don't touch me. I just want to be left alone. And it's man, I think that's the same. I think that's the same reaction guys have when they found out women were don't come say this, don't do this. And it's there's a rejection there. Yeah, it is a rejection. That's what
I can see. Sometimes it hurts people to see that. I mean, even in relaying my own experience about how much I hate housework, I can see that it really upset my husband. Not to the point of it upset him that I didn't want to do it, but I think it just upset him to know how repulsive it is to me and how much I hate it and how I don't find it affectionate or loving. I don't get those, someone cooking for you makes you feel love and you want them to do it as an affectionate thing, but then you hear them say it makes me want to yeet myself when I have to do this thing. I think it's very damn, you over here having a whole other experience. In my head, I'm she loves me. She's making this play. It's I do love you. That's why I'm doing it in spite of my hatred for it. But it's not doing anything for me. I think that's I think it's shocking to hear that someone you are with is having this whole opposite experience of the same thing. And that's what you're talking about.
Duty versus desire.
Like I'm doing this thing and I'm thinking we're both enjoying it. And then you come and tell me that I actually hate it. It makes me feel really uneasy and unsafe and like, yuck.
Yes.
I think that's really scary to hear.
It is.
But
and
it's
bothersome
good to know.
was the word. Bothersome.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, I'm bothersome. But yes, you're right. People, I think love will have you do things out of duty. And the person that is feeling loved by the act wants you to desire to do it. Like,
right.
I think that's like when Inya used to itch all the time and throw tomatoes about the manosphere dudes, like because they're like, we want a submissive woman. It's like what they're saying is, I want you to desire to serve me.
And that's not really submission either. You know what I mean? Like to some degree, like true submission is kind of in that space. It's like nerfing yourself. Like if you think about dumb submissive, we were talking about it with Armand, with Louis. Armand being super way more stronger than him, choosing to be in this submissive role. So it's like typically submitting is almost like giving up something, which typically is your own desire sometimes to submit to something else. So like, nah, like true submission, like I hate this thing, but I'm submitting to this higher thing and doing it anyway. That's kind of submission, really. It's not about me loving it the whole time. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's where it gets weird.
They're asking for performance on top of like a personality performance on top of the physical performance. Like they're layering, like you're asking too much.
But you're going into the realm of desire, which like you don't have to do. Like desire and duty don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like
they don't have to coexist.
Yeah, because even though I hate it, I'm not
the fact that they've chosen the duty, like they desire to perform their duty, and that should be enough desire to fulfill the affection.
Right.
Like the fact that they desire to fulfill the duty that they don't want to do it.
Right.
But they desire to perform the duty.
I desire to perform the duty because yes, that is higher.
Yeah.
So you want me to feel like Eros desire.
Yes.
While doing this thing I hate.
Right.
And it's like you can't have it all.
That's when the transaction becomes visible because it's like, no, now you want me to pay double desire.
Right.
For this thing that I don't desire at all. Right. So you want me to give two. So like you want me to give two fucks when I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like no. No.
Then what I'm gonna get?
Right. What I'm gonna get?
Nah, that's what I really would be like, and what I'm gonna get. Then you want me to just feel turned on by these dirty ass dishes.
Right.
My fucking face.
The suds made me horny, babe. Let's go to bed.
It's so hot when I do fucking slave work for you.
For better or worse.
I'm so turned on. This is stupid. It's so dumb.
You know what holding the broomstick reminded me of, babe?
Right. Your skinny cock. Like, what do you want me to say? That's like all you're gonna get. Because if you're gonna ask me to do that, this is the energy you about to get. Like this is fucking ridiculous.
I hate you. I can't stand you.
They want to.
Doe said he gonna try the experience thing. He gonna. You should.
And they gonna be like, "Why you said it?" You be like, "I just heard it. I thought, maybe."
How do you experience me? Oh my god!
I'm just saying.
Right.
Try not to argue points though. Like try not to argue back because this is how they're experiencing it. So. I'm just saying, like, it's stupid. So, but I mean, but then it also is a good conversation. I think the conversation was good because now it's like, if you want desire from me, that's another realm that you're going to have to pay up in.
Yeah.
You can't get the 2 for 1. Y'all trying to get the 2 for 1 because you don't want to have to do the shit I said I want to feel this way. I already told you, this is what I need to feel this way over here. This is what I need to feel this way over here. You trying to put them together.
Yeah.
You're trying to put them together, so you have to do less work. That's at the end of the day. That's the transactional stuff. See, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying, if we put this department with this department, we only got to do it one time. Well, bitch.
Trying to turn you into a Walmart supercenter.
This ain't a supercenter, bitch.
Get the tires, the shirts.
We talking about groceries. Yeah, we talking about groceries, and we talking about a fucking department store, and you trying to put them together. Well, we put the shirts in the back.
Yeah.
If you wear sexy clothes while doing it, maybe you'll feel.
There you go. There you go. That makes perfect sense.
Like, doesn't work that way. put on some heels. Maybe you will feel sexy. Okay. And if you let somebody convince you of that, you a goofball. Stay true to yourself. Then you can actually get to the root of it. But if you just acquiesce to some bullshit, like, okay, this,
Yeah.
Good luck.
Nah, that's real. Nope.
So, I mean, just be out about it. Just be out about the transactionalism. I think it's useful because I told y'all said, were we asking what make you feel love? Spending somebody hard on earn money on some bullshit.
That's right.
I mean, it sounds terrible, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But that's the point. Like the whole transaction thing, it's uncomfortable. We don't typically like hearing it.
Yeah.
So we got to get used to that.
Yeah, just like I don't like doing these fucking dishes. You don't like the idea of somebody spending your hard-earned money on some bullshit from Amazon.
Right. Until I'm doing
it. Okay. So there we are. Now we're even.
Okay.
He said he shot a bird.
Yellow. Lots of birds too.
I know he shot a lot of them too.
Dang, he spammed.
What was that for?
Dang,
It's the reality of the situation. But everybody get what they want, so they happy.
Yeah.
Everybody getting what they want. You want somebody to feel love, so you get the endless puss. Okay, it's now the circuit is complete and the currency can flow. If the circuit's not complete, y'all ain't do that little elementary school thing where you put the wood block in the middle of the circuit. Like you put the battery on one side and you connect them, and then you put the wood block in and it breaks the circuit, or you put some metal in and it conducts, like that. You gotta keep the circuit going.
All right. Those don't do dishes.
Yeah.
So whatever transaction she wants, she get.
What's the trade?
What's the trade?
Yeah, all these sports fans got an issue with trades and shit.
It's
a new symbol. Okay,
symbol of love.
Sure is a lot of them.
Love you back, bro.
Okay, that was a good sidebar though. I hope it was.
It.
I want to know if y'all do the what's your experience of me. I want to know, what's the response when you do it.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that real quick. So chat.
Okay. Take the white man down real quick.
Yeah, let's take him down. So chat. Chat.
Not chat.
This is uncomfortable.
He's worried. He's concerned.
What is your experience of me? What is the impression that I have left you with? And Bree, I want you to answer that question as well. And should you decide to ask that question of everybody, you can, but I'm not gonna ask on your behalf, because that's an adventure that you have to embark upon on your own, people. Don't out somebody else's. Don't out somebody else's experience.
Tell them how you experience them. Go ahead. Go ahead. They need to hear it.
Oh shoot. Shoot.
What's your experience? You're very
Ardos.
My experience of you. You are very
bear. Oh no.
Not a bear. You're very intelligent. You're like two in your head. You overthink. I experience you as highly anxious. I experience you as highly anxious, but generally, like, yeah, you cool, you're chill. I feel generally like you're a safe person to talk to and have conversations with. So it's not like you're unpredictable kind of like what some people are
not
like.
Erratic.
Yeah, like this is the energy I'm thinking about, but some people are like this, but it's like they may blow up.
Yeah,
like they you need to leave them alone because they like you just don't know.
Yeah.
But you're not like that. But you just I could tell it's more of an inward like this.
So under the surface, it's percolating.
Yeah, but it's more towards yourself. Like you're in. It's not outward. Like I'm gonna blow and just murder everybody. It's more just like inside. If that makes any sense.
Okay. No, I like it. Yeah. It's nuclear fission instead of nuclear fusion.
Yeah, it's like you will implode. Like you won't explode. You'll more likely just implode.
Or fusion instead of fission. I'm not sure. You know what I'm talking about.
Whichever
all the energy
one.
directs back on. It turns back in on itself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I like it.
So that's my experience. What's your experience of me? I'm fine with it.
No, I don't really have a negative. Okay, if you want the negative side, negative side.
All of it. It could be positive, negative.
No, I just think you're a super interesting, smart, funny person. with a wide array of interests. So like you're like if I would probably like crayons. I might be like a 32 pack, but you're like the one some whatever.
Who with the pencil sharpener on the bottom?
Pencil sharpener. Yes. Yeah, like your interests are so expansive. I'm like, wow, it's impressive. Okay, that's about you're an impressive individual. You're an impressive individual. Now the negatives, not a chaotic. That chaotic.
What?
That
what
chaotic.
About it? It's great.
That chaotic is chaotic. Like,
it's great.
That chaotic be chaotic. Like
no,
it be given.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
It was. I'm gonna tell you, like it's so funny, but you make it funny, like you neutralize it, so it's not negative. Like it's like the way I turn it inward, you turn it into levity. So like when the other day it was something whatever stream related, and you put that picture up, and when it popped into the chat, and it's that crazy looking white lady.
Oh yeah.
But that's but when you were feeling and kind of acting like chatting chaotic, you changed your photo to it like symbolize the chaoticness, and it was so funny. But when it popped up, it was like
everybody was like, "Ooh, jump scare!" I felt this morning when I was dissociating in the bathroom.
Oh my god!
Dissociating in the bathroom.
Oh my god!
I'm very comfortable with it. I'm flighty. I know that about myself. Like people experience me as flighty. People experience me as like very chaotic and ever changing. And so I get that. Kind-hearted person.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
I got some kind of.
No.
It's not. You never know. You never know. You never know. Bree, you are my spirit animal that I have kept buried. Dang, that sounds.
I am a villain. I'm a villain.
No, the animal that you kept buried just sounds funny. The phrasing of it just
that demon.
Yeah. That effing plate took me places. You helped me think a bit further than how it was. That's dope.
Yeah.
Oh
I always fight for the villains because
yeah.
I really am a reformed villain.
Yeah.
Not really reformed, but whatever that would be.
Yeah. Making different choices.
I'm saved. That's the best. I'm saved. I mean, we'll just call it that. We'll say I'm saved. There we go.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That works. All right, good people. I appreciate you, Inya. Everybody, I'm a bear to my so-called life. I don't.
Yeah, he said you a bear.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
He didn't say what kind. You like them Charmin
bears?
That's
true. It is true. What kind of bear my so-called life? What kind of bear? A scary bear? A Charmin bear? A Kodiak grizzly? A bear claw? I might be a bear claw. I might be a
Care Bears.
Dessert. A Care Bear?
Do the Care Bears stare?
Yeah. Y'all awesome. You are too, Inya. I promise you. I love having the people. I love the community that has come around. Like I love because it's a lot of good energy. People that are try to be decent human beings. I love. No, that's the one that I won't be. No.
Little bear, little bear, sing a song.
I knew it. I should have known.
Little bear, run along. I love that song.
I can't.
Want. Given their investment in the relationship in terms of time, energy, money, commitment, etc., then the transaction becomes visible. And when they are getting enough of what they want, given their investment in the relationship, or the perceived unfairness is adequately addressed, then the transaction once again fades into invisibility. That doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that it doesn't require attention. And it doesn't require attention because it's working.
Self-awareness.
What makes relationships so challenging is not that they are transactional. In fact, if we were collectively more accepting and explicit about this reality, we would all probably have an easier time with things. What makes relationships so challenging is that the goods being transacted are typically not explicitly negotiated and acknowledged and are subject to all kinds of change and fluctuation over time. My relationship with my power company is easy because we're both consciously exchanging one thing for one thing, electricity for money, and that holds true over time. Now, imagine you're exchanging many things of fluctuating value outside of both parties' conscious awareness. The fact that some people find a way to do this indefinitely is nothing short of miraculous.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of their secrets might be in how these people count. Like how people calculate how much they give and how much they get is subject to all kinds of squirreliness. This is because, in general, people overvalue what they give and undervalue what they get, which is obviously a serious problem if relationships are essentially transactional.
Now, if I think I gave you a diamond, but what I gave you was a corner store hot dog, like when you receive it and you gave me a hot dog, you're bothersome. Actually, you upset my stomach. But I think I gave you like a 10-carat diamond. Obviously, there's going to be a problem. But that's what a lot of people do.
That's what some people value their pussy.
Yes.
But you have to. It's really just going to depend on the currency system. I think that's why you have to like know what people hold to the highest values.
Yes.
Some people just really think they genitals is like.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want your little genitals. You need to start saying to people. I mean, but some people I'm giving you sex, so I've paid my toll for the month, or the whatever.
My subscription fee.
I gave you the puss, yeah. So it's like I mean, it's like the people who giving birthday sex, Like I had a coworker who was still like she was married, and she was still giving her husband birthday sex as like a gift. I'm like,
right?
Y'all been together like y'all got like 5 kids,
right? Like handing him like leftover wrapping paper. Like, come on.
Got the pop. We was nurses, so it's like you come home and give them the shit that's still in your pocket from the shift. Like that's Home Depot.
That's crazy. I didn't know they had
that's some Cali shit.
Yeah.
That's some real Cali stuff. But that's that happens a lot. You got to make sure the currency, and that's what I was saying. Even with that very traditional model, right? Like I would say a lot of men are very traditional in their currency system, even though they may not always move in that system. So anytime they start to do anything that they find traditionally valuable, they hold that to like such a high degree.
Yeah.
Sometimes unfairly. Like, like a lot of the women complain about, he just goes to work. And then when he comes home, he doesn't feel like he needs to do anything else. That's because he's holding that so high.
Yes.
And you may be like, well, I mean, depending on how we arrive to that, or like, for instance, I work too.
Yeah.
Why is your working such a higher value than my working? Or, all that kind of stuff. Like,
okay. I think you hit on something because I think you talked about it a little bit earlier, like letting people know that you hate something. That way it's costing them.
Yeah.
Women, autonomy and agency, y'all talk favorably about wanting to work.
Yeah.
Y'all also talk favorably about wanting to have a kid and family. So it sounds like you guys are doing all the things that you enjoy. And that axiom or whatever everybody says, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. So it seems like you guys are doing all the things that you want to do when we know we don't want to do any of this mess. Like we don't necessarily want to.
That's why I had to reorient the conversation of like, I'm just like you. I don't want to do any of this shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're projecting on me traditional feminine values, and I don't have those.
Yeah.
So I'm not being fulfilled by being a mom or washing dishes or cleaning the house. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why we had to reorient the conversation, because I think he was thinking we were in that transactional system and we were not. And I was like, I see that there's a problem here.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm supposed to be fulfilled by that? Like, maybe you're fulfilled by paying all the bills. I don't know. I never assumed you were. But maybe you find that as a high level of fulfillment for yourself. So now you're projecting onto me that traditional housewife thing is fulfilling me.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of that. Because I don't think paying all the bills actually gives people a good feeling. I think not having to worry about the problems that come with not paying your bills. Like, I think where we put the inference, like the point of importance, I think that's a problem.
For him, it is. And that's what I found out. Like, he likes having me home with the kids. He
Yes,
likes to see
that's
us
the value.
go on Target runs and spend his money. He knows I'm not going to do it to a detriment thing. I think he takes a little pride in knowing his wife doesn't have to go to work. Like, I'm here just running the streets with his kids, going to Tokyo Yuma. I think he does that. He does take pride in it.
You feel protected. Like, it feels like you've set her, like, there's that, like, and that's what I meant by that. Like, having the spouse be able to be home with the kids, or seeing them fulfilled or happier to be able to pursue, like, those things are the value. The actual paying of the bills,
right?
Like, I think sometimes we attach the thing to the wrong thing. It's not the actual paying of the bills that gives anybody any satisfaction. Nobody's like,
it's like what it does.
Button. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, that money's leaving my account. Ooh, that feels great. Like, that's like, that's not it. But we use that language. Like, oh, I want to pay all the bills. I'm the man. I pay all the bills. Paying the bills won't make you feel good.
Because don't nobody like paying no bills.
Right. But it's like, what does it afford you? And I think we have a hard time articulating, because I know women are starting to, but we have a hard time articulating that it's like the safety and comfort of our mate or our children. Like,
because if he was paying them and we were like struggling, he also wouldn't be fulfilled by that.
Right.
Like, I would just go back to work. Like, we have an agreement. Like, if it was just like overwhelming, I would just go back to work, because I'm not necessarily fulfilled by that traditional housewife thing. So like, I could still be fine in work, because I loved my career. Like, I love nursing, and so like, it wouldn't be crazy for me to go back. I work like 1 day a week now, and I'm fine with it. So it's not the bills and the housework that's fulfilling anybody. It's what, a certain level of comfort. And for me, it's being able to hang out with my kids. See, like, you know what I'm saying? I think we conflate the two, because you see me home with my kids, and I'm like very happy when we're out and we're having experiences and we're like going to have fun. That's what fulfills me, not washing their clothes and like none of that.
And the reason I feel like it's important to actually give language to it, to differentiate, because remember, we listened to that one Dr. John Deloney who wanted his wife or girlfriend to stay at home, but then he was mad that she was staying at home.
Right.
But because he hasn't figured out the narrative in his
head.
He
wanted her to stay home and do the task. He's projecting that traditional housewife, home cooking, taking care of me. Housewife, more so than what that time having her home allows her to do. And for my husband, the value is it opens her up to start businesses and connect with our kids more and connect to me more. But I think in times of high stress, he may conflate the two, and I do the same thing. But there's this underspoken thing that those tasks also better be getting done.
Right.
Which is fine. Like, they better be getting done though, because if I just was chilling with the kids and none of that stuff was happening, now he'll be like, hold on, because like, there's also a functional aspect of you being home too.
That's all the way real. But it's just super important. I think we need to start spending more time developing language around that, because people are running with narratives in their head that are inarticulated, and people are putting the emphasis on the wrong thing, which is leading to more conflict.
Right.
So if you're going for longevity, it's kind of a good idea to consciously correct these biases. That is, slightly undervalue what you give and slightly overvalue what you get. What's more, it's also a good idea not to count too precisely. The closer you measure the value of what you give and get, the more transactional your relationship is going to feel. And remember, the awareness of transaction is generally characteristic of bad relationships. So bringing that awareness into your relationship is probably going to diminish subjective satisfaction by association. So punctilious and overzealous measurement is not a good idea. On the other hand, people in relationships that go the distance kind of take a fuzzy look at the numbers and the transaction of value. They don't look too closely at the economic exchange. This doesn't necessarily mean that these folks are turning a blind eye to dysfunctional or exploitative dynamics. It just kind of means that they're okay with the exchange residing in a rather broad confidence interval, that they are willing to make allowances for exchange fluctuations over time. However, even within these relationship strategies, if your partner started to do much less, and you continued on as usual, or even started doing much more to pick up the slack, then this will tend to create dissatisfaction, conflict, and resentment over time. And this kind of wouldn't be possible unless relationships were transactional. Whether we like it or not, our feelings are tied to the perception of value in a very deep and very powerful way, which is a theme that I explore in much greater detail in my forthcoming book. So stay tuned.
Boom. All right. Thank you, Doc.
Did we say hey to Mr. He Said? I want to just say hey to him.
Yeah, you were talking. I was just like, hey, Mr. He Said.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. He Said. Hope
I love the
everything's
stream
going well
y'all
for you, bro.
had. But I wanted to say I have a random Bible rule. You very rarely hear me talk about, I'm a Christian, but I'm not really a thumper, But I do have this one rule that I believe, where it was like the story of King David. It was a sin for him had to have an exact count of all the people.
Yes.
And then he got in trouble for having he did a census, and I think got in trouble for that because it's not like seen as, it's like overstepping to keep an exact count of things that aren't yours. In that sense, like the idea.
That makes sense.
So that's like something I really do believe. Like, and that's what I thought about when he said, like, keeping an exact account is like overstepping. It's in the realm of like anxious or controlling to feel like you need an exact count of things that don't belong to you, like people's time and emotions. So like that's a biblical rule that I carry with me, that is sinful to like demand a count of things that aren't yours.
Nah, I think that's rule. I think that's reasonable. Cause I think when you generalize it out,
right?
I would take it to there's 2 points to that. Like you said, the fuzzy math of it. Everything that a person that you're in relationship with should be like, in the biblical sense, an offering. Like they are offering something up to the good, the God, the good in you. So I'm offering something up as a sacrifice to the God, the good in you. Like I see the good in you. I want to offer this up, whether it's my love, my duty, my service, my this, my that, whatever it is. I'm offering this up. I'm burning this up. I'm burning up my time. I'm burning up my money. I'm burning this up in exchange for letting you know how much I value you. I love you. But then on the thing is, like the Bible says, judge them by their fruit. There should be things that are poured back out in return because of that worship.
Right.
Like that worship should have like God says, I'll open up the windows of heaven.
Right.
So I'll pour so much back into you that you can't even hold because you love me. I'll love you even more. And it's like there's a reciprocal exchange that even God talks about.
And it also leaves room for the unaccounted. Like I think sometimes that's why people think they have such a good grasp on reality. That's why I think like asking them that, like when you ask someone their experience of you, you leave room for things you haven't accounted for.
Yes.
Kind of like how they had on the border, like the people, even then it's like always people like, oh, you leave this border for the people that you haven't accounted for. Maybe they're homeless or they whatever. So you can't account for those people. There are always going to be things you're not accounting for. And so that's kind of like what he's saying is like overestimating what they're doing, underestimating you, because you can't possibly have a grasp on all of the things, So that's a biblical thing that I really do believe.
Yeah, I think it's a safer and more valuable way to, I guess, weigh the exchange is in the favor of the other person. And if everybody's kind of like giving more grace to the other person and being more constrictive on themselves, things work out a little bit more. Like I'm not more humble, I guess, one for the self. Like I'm probably not giving everything I think I'm giving. Like I need to.
Or it's like a skew because you're with yourself all the time.
All the time.
So like maybe you are keeping really good account of your own numbers, but that's kind of just a natural bias or skew.
A natural bias, because you're biased towards yourself. The other people are not yourself. So whatever you think you're giving won't translate. They can't, like all the currency won't exchange. You think when you give something over to somebody else, all of that
it's going to be lost in like translation or exchange.
Yeah. So underestimate yourself and then overestimate the other because they're having that same bias too. So what they're giving you, they think they're giving a lot, but to you, all of it's not going to translate. So you need to inflate what they're giving you, knowing that they think that they're giving you more than you're going to feel.
Especially if you're not willing to have the conversation about what literally is valuable to them, which most people aren't.
Most
like
people
most people aren't like, what makes you feel desire? What makes you feel
Mhm.
love? What makes you feel like, how do you like to receive affection? Like most people are not having that conversation. So
Yeah,
you
that's
ain't
right.
even having that conversation.
Mhm.
And you think 100% of what you giving is being interpreted the way you think it's going. Like that's kind of crazy.
It is. It is.
That's kind of crazy.
No, it's facts. Now listen, we about to get into this last. This is the example. Let's go back into going back to this thing. Now, for the first one, the y'all law maximum universal versus universalizability. Universality. I'm just calling it universality. Forget all that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The law of universality just means it's asking for people to be consistent. So your actions should be consistent. And if you're doing it, it should be consistent for everybody. Like if you're gonna do something and you don't think everybody should do this thing, it's probably not a good thing to do. So let's call that the first one, the law of consistency. But I like that one, that law of dignity, like allowing people their dignity. I'm going to treat you like a human being. I'm not going to use you as a tool to get what I want. I'm not going to use you as a tool, a stepping stone to get where I want to go. You're a person that has their own wants and needs. And that's kind of what we're getting ready to talk about in this next one. So there's going to be a little bit of consistency that I'm going to do something, but I don't want everybody to treat me like, I don't want everybody to be treated like that, but I'm going to treat somebody like that. That's a problem. That's in society. The dignity, not leaving people their dignity, that's a big problem. And then people allowing others to dictate how they feel and think about things. That living by committee. We had a lot of that, especially with social media. Super problematic.
Was that just like groupthink, basically?
Yeah, just allowing other people to influence like what you want and decide. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I think a lot of people are giving themselves over to the internet. The guy in this relationship has definitely given over his thoughts to like Passport Bros, Fresh and Fit. A lot of his thoughts have come directly from groups like that. And I would say the woman has a lot of, I'll say she has some of that social media influence and how dating is supposed, all that stuff. Because we'll get into it, but we'll start and stop here several times. But I wanted to start because I thought the language at the beginning of this was super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yanni stitched together several TikToks of this lady, this social media influencer.
Okay.
But she went on a date. She had a bad date, but I like the language she chose at the beginning.
And
go ahead.
Is this the woman?
Yeah.
Because also, like, for this guy to be a fresh and fit guy and then go for this woman and then it go the way, that's all.
Yes. There was a transaction.
Not to say there's anything wrong with her, but it's just like, I thought the whole idea was, yeah, but the fresh and fit do go after the IG baddie model types.
Exactly.
But they want the transaction, right?
They say they want it.
Okay.
They say they want it, but they don't.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Because then I know there's the red pill guys who say leave this type alone and go for the wife types.
Yes.
But based off what Fresh and Fit actually do and who they have on, I'm assuming that they don't share that same.
They don't practice what they preach.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about leaving these type of women alone.
Right, but they always go for those women, and that's what they have on their show.
Yes, exactly. So they're promoting one thing while preaching another thing.
So what they really want is the transactional relationships to be okay.
But see, they're breaking down that law of universality because they're telling guys, don't do this thing. But the thing that they're doing is what they're saying don't do. So they're breaking up the universal law.
They're breaking universal law. They do all that stuff.
Yeah. So they've already broken that first ethic of like, if you're going to do this thing, it has to be good for everybody. But they're doing the things that they say are bad for everybody.
But
so
it always
they're
comes
unethical.
out. It always comes out, and their viewers are experiencing exactly what they're preaching, which is no, transaction is okay. But then they get mad when they try to do that with people who didn't consent, because doing that with an escort is different than doing that with a regular ass person who did not tell you that if you pay this much and you spend this, they were going to give you anything. Just go get an escort.
Yeah, that would make sense. But to be fair, on the opposite side of that, the people are behaving as escorts and are telling people that their time is money. Yeah. So now, we have a whole a cultural rhetoric inconsistency
because they're saying a certain rhetoric, but they also kind of don't want that. So they go with the fresh and fit people, like they're the yin to their yang, and of course they're going to keep finding each other.
Yep. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
of mine, and I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get into this crazy story time about a woman who went on a date accidentally with a passport bro.
So now listen, the language that tripped me up. I'm like, how do you accidentally go on a date? But she accidentally went on a date with a passport bro.
Well, just say unknowingly went.
Right,
why accidentally? Just like unknowingly, I went on a date with a passport bro.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was like, that language was tripping. I'm like, how do you don't go on no date accidentally? Like, you got dressed up and showed up somewhere. I was like, oh, how'd I end up here? But it took me a minute to catch on. My brain was a little slow in that one. But you're right. I would have chosen a different word too. So this lady, the dating pool is more than toxic. It's dangerous, and it is. It's definitely toxic and dangerous for everybody that's in it because people do not articulate what they're willing to give in the transaction, at least not up front. You kind of figure it out. We're going to talk about the things that she exposes herself in the front end, then she exposes him on the back end, but we're going to go through several different points.
Y'all, when I tell you trigger warning, there is going to be some wild things said and discussed in this video because what I'm about to tell y'all about is literally mind-blowing. Like, I know they said the dating pool got a little bit of pee in it. Baby, this is acid. This is acid in the pool, okay? One. Before I get into this story, I just want to say I've already contacted the police. I just feel like I need to tell this publicly because I do feel concerned for my safety. And this person clearly wants attention, so I'm going to give them the attention that they're so desperately looking for. 2 weeks ago, I went on a date with a man named Jerome King.
Baby, the first red flag for me.
I can't stand it. So listen. This is Jerome King in the
shout out to the Jeromes.
Don't shout out to Jerome. Get out of here.
I got an uncle. Be cool.
Yeah, you got an uncle. Yeah. I'm glad Nova ain't here no more. He likes to make Jerome jokes. So that's a dude that's actually was posed in a photo with a guy from Fresh and Fit. When she gets to his actual voice recordings and the things he sent her via text message, you'll hear a lot of Fresh and Fit rhetoric. A lot of passport bro rhetoric, but I thought it was interesting that they wouldn't find the picture of him. Everybody heard it when they heard his voice. It was like, oh, he sound like Fresh or Fit, whichever one that is. Myron, he sound like Myron, but it's so funny. But that's the lady in the red dress, lady in red. Let's go.
He is already his name, Jerome.
Jerome messaged me on social media.
First of all, nothing wrong with the name Jerome.
There's nothing wrong with the name Jerome.
Absolutely nothing wrong with the name Jerome. It's a fantastic name.
He couldn't pick his name.
Yeah, he didn't. He did not pick that name. Shaming that man because of his name. I'm
assuming that he's followed me for a while. I did not become aware of him until he messaged me a couple of weeks ago. He asked to take me on a date. Me being newly single, clearly unadjusted to what's out here in the world. But I decided, sure, why not? I know that I have a large social media following. I'm not the type of person that's super caught up in that, but I forget that not everybody feels that way and not every.
Let me ask you a question, because I didn't even catch that the first time. It was somebody from her DMs.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I assumed it was from a dating app or something, but because you've given me a big nope. You was like, nope, the standard for social media is people should not ever date somebody that's been following them.
No. Depending on what type of influence she do, but like for instance, we talk a lot on stream and stuff. I just wouldn't somebody sitting there listening to you talk and they gonna date you. No, I just wouldn't. But like maybe she just posts pictures. Like she may not be sharing her thoughts.
She's trying to model and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean also though, if you were a model, it's the same rule but different reason. Like same rule because they're just looking at you like how. Like, I just feel like anybody who hits you up in your DM and wants to date you, there's like, okay, like this is a woman. Maybe it's just like, I'm going to communicate it just because I'm not going to assume it's going to go across. But there's this level of obsession that you're more than likely going to encounter. Like if a guy has just been on your IG looking at your pictures, lusting after you, looking at you, there is now an obsession there that he's been able to cultivate that could lead to some issues if he's rejected, if you accept his advance through the wall of social media, which is typically a barrier, especially for a model who has a large following. You've accepted a date, he's gotten over that wall. So now there's like, it would be like a celebrity picking you out of the audience and going on a date with you. Like the rejection from that person is going to be harder to accept already. So I just feel like it's dangerous in that. What archetype are we talking about? This guy hit you up in the DMs. He probably been looking at your stuff, liking your pictures, lusting after you. There's already like high sexual tension there, more than likely on his side. One-sided sexual tension. You ain't even know this man exists. You know, so now there's obsessive stuff that's gonna like already be percolating in the air. I just wouldn't do it. As far as the safety thing, that's a very unsafe dynamic to start a relationship off with, I think.
Yeah. That's
super unsafe.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. Because somebody has just been sitting there like just, I guess, I perusing your pictures
and your modeling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they just looking at you for weeks or months or whatever.
How long has this dude been following her?
Right.
And looking at her stuff and like lusting after her one-sided completely.
Yes. And then there might also be a perceived familiarity too. Like they might have developed some sense of feeling familiar and they're not.
Right. You didn't know he existed until he hit you up. He's been aware of your existence and watching you. I mean, typically, if this happened in real life, we'd be like,
Stalker. That's
right?
weird that the internet has made stalking normal.
Which is why I think typically as a female, you would know to some degree that taking a solicited date from someone online is we in the orange zone automatically, off cuff. We orange. Like if you talking about levels of danger, that's high. It's like orange for me. Immediately. Unfortunately, if we talking about safety. Just like, you know, the only way you can get that experience in real life is stalking somebody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unless you just knew them, but then they would be aware of your
existence. Yeah, they would know it. Yeah,
like if you were in a friend group or something like that.
We've made a pro stalker platform. Like social media is pro stalker. Like it gives them the ability to stalk without being stalkery. Like, it's weird.
Versus if like we're on stream, maybe we're streaming buddies, and then that's more like we work together, and I observe you, and you observe me. That's more of a like, you know,
equal dynamic.
Yeah, like if you dated somebody you constantly streamed with and talked to, that's not the same as somebody just in the audience not sharing and they're just watching you. You know, it's different. It never works. I need people to really understand it. Like, let's think about why this is unsafe and more than likely not a good dynamic to start a relationship in.
Yeah,
it's just not.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's why I always tell people I'm not meeting people from the internet. I enjoy y'all so much. Y'all have become a really integral part of my life, and I really just don't want to meet people.
I mean, it's not necessary, but it's even like when I go to say I go to cons, and like now I'm in that space of like people are like, I want to come meet you at the con. You know, they come up and they're like, I watch your streams, and it's just like, okay, but it's like you have to. It's like, okay, you want to talk to them, but then there's this like you have to keep a kind of wall because you know they already feel very familiar with you.
Yeah,
and like maybe you don't even know, you've never seen their face, you know, because they're just somebody in chat, or maybe like you didn't even know they were watching you because they just like lurk, and then you kind of already, unfortunately, it's just weird. Like it's weird.
Yeah, man. And see, I'm prone to familiarity. That's why I try not to. I get familiar easy. Like, so I try not to. I try to fight that because I know it's a habit of mine to like just. Oh yeah, we're friends. I'm like, man.
Yeah, but like for example, if I ever like, once again, none of us desire to like meet each other. But if I met Yella or you, it wouldn't be as weird as somebody who just watches us.
Yeah. Yes.
Who I haven't got to hear their side, and that's kind of what she did. Like.
Yeah. And a date, not just meeting. Not just meeting. A date.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never works out. It's not going to work out because you're basically dating a stalker. It's kind of like
I've met people at Star Trek cons and it never works out. Okay, so YouTube and Star Trek conventions, neither of them work out. Oh,
like somebody you just met at the con. Yeah.
Oh,
but we gotta start like understanding how the environment in which you meet someone plays into
yes
the foundation of the relate. Because if I meet somebody in a cunt, I know the energy of a cunt.
Yeah,
I know even the space a cunt holds in my life as well. It's a departure from the reality of me. This is me going to engage in the most idealistic space of social interaction that I can exist in as a human. And so any relationship that I would think I would run into there, they're not, I think the reality of real life is going to be harder for them to accept.
That's true.
Yeah. Very idealistic place to meet somebody. Yeah. It's just true.
Interpret that for me, Bree. That's your twin.
ATZ. I don't know what that means.
ATZ.
Maybe he just typing by mistake. That's probably what happened. That's the type.
Oh shit.
For sure.
Everybody recognizes that social media is just a number and people are just people. Jerome suggested that we go to Nikki Beach or Komodo, which if you're not from Miami or familiar with, both of those are really nice restaurants. Nikki Beach, I was already familiar with. Komodo, I was not. So we initially decided to go to Nikki Beach, but it rained that day. So we changed our plans and decided to go to Komodo. Once we got to Komodo, overall, I would say I had a decent time. There were some things that happened that I was a little concerned about, but at the end of the day, it's a first date. So it's not like I'm going to be like super picky about these things. I feel like we're just supposed to be getting to know each other, having some fun, enjoying each other's company.
That sounds very reasonable. That's a reasonable expectation of a first date. Like, again, not taking into context of where she met the guy. I'm just saying,
and I went to pull up their menu.
Oh, did you?
I had to see the prices. I said,
that's gonna come up. That's gonna come up.
No, because you could have got to know me at the dive bar.
Yes,
but he also proposed this place.
He did.
So he did. What you trying to do?
Exactly. He's trying to
transact.
transact.
For me, you already started in Code Orange.
Yes.
Because you DM me. Now you talking about taking me to Komodo at this price point just to get to know me?
Yes.
He already in the red, Bookie.
Yes. So now this is what I want to talk about. I think at this point in our culture where we're at, no woman should accept an expensive date from a guy she doesn't already know. If you don't know a guy, because that's announcing a transaction.
Yeah.
I'm trying to transact with you. I'm trying to spend a lot of money to impress you so that we can get to the sleeping stage quicker.
Yeah.
You're not trying to buy her a meal I want to show you I can be a good husband. No, but nobody's really thinking.
I want to just be able to have a conversation with you and see if we vibe. At Komodo.
You're not spending $500 to have a conversation.
Pocket comment. See, I knew it.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. I used to watch the show The Girlfriend Experience, which is based off like the diary of an escort, and it's just like, y'all, that's kind of how it goes. You meet them, you pay the money, you go take them to somewhere expensive, and I used to know this escort. I worked in a fine dining restaurant. It was very expensive, and she was an escort, and that was her spot. Like, she here with another client this week.
Oh yeah.
And she liked it because it was by the hotel. It's like by this hotel because it was fine dining. So she gonna bring them to the spot. They gonna walk on over to and I think she also felt safer because she was always there. So it was like familiar. We knew she was an escort, and like we knew who she was, and
kind of a
made
community.
sure we keep an eye on it. Like, okay, she was with this dude. Then she went missing. So so there is a formula for the.
There's a way to be an escort.
Yeah, that's the formula.
Yeah, and that's smart. That's actually thought out. It's methodical. It's something that you could teach if you want. But I think a lot of people have slipped into being an escort, and they don't know that
without the safety measures in place.
Yeah, without the safety measures, because they think they're dating, and they keep using that. Because I keep hearing people that sound like escorts talk about dating and courting, but they're not in a dating and courting culture. And it's like she falls into that because allowing a guy to take you on, like, I'm familiar with these two places. The one I know is really expensive. I don't know this guy. He's in my DMs. Like you're being tricked on. Like, come on. Like, you know what's going
like,
down.
come on.
Like the people that say like, oh, well, he flew me out, but that don't mean I'm obligated to have sex. Like he's putting you up in a hotel, flying you out. Like what? There's a transaction happening, and we can pretend like it's not, but there's a transaction.
And if somebody you're not into that, you don't need to be like,
don't take part,
engaging in that.
Do not come.
Do not come.
Do not come.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with it. I wish people would just get escorts, but you know what it is? Back to Emmanuel's thing. Well, one, it's illegal, but two, people want to get, like I said, twice the desire for one price of one.
Yes, double desire. Yes.
Them escorts expensive.
Yes.
They out of the price range for most of these people.
I mean, that's true too.
Regular people want escort transactionalism, but you gotta scam somebody into thinking you want to be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really is. People scamming people into relationships to get the stuff they want.
Man, that sucks.
It's unfortunate.
That's where we need to legalize sex work so that we don't have to get there. Like the economy's thrown off. The economy's thrown off because the people at the lower end of the sex industry who don't know they're participating in the sex industry.
Yeah,
it's not monetized.
Like free sex industry. It's not monetized sex industry. Like, but people do it in other ways. Just like some men want free labor. You want free labor. You want somebody to cook and clean. You worry about that shit, and you scamming this lady into thinking she living a life because she's doing this labor for you free.
Absolutely.
But she ain't get no comfort. She ain't get no leisure. She ain't got no extra money to spend.
Yep.
She just at the house doing slave labor. Cheap free labor.
Yeah.
So it goes. It happens in a lot of different ways.
It does for sure. It does.
I'm not being no
for the
housewife.
most part, I did enjoy his.
I can't spend no money. I said I'm not finna be no housewife till we on a strict budget. Get out of here. Get out of here.
What you mean?
Like because
you
like,
don't because it's not
they keep their wives at home, but they can't afford it. So then it's like struggle life every day because he just wants you to be at home to do all this stuff, which is great, but you don't. You
but
can't
if
do
you
nothing.
Felt fulfilled, like I think it'll be okay for somebody that felt fulfilled in that. Because there's some people that like really enjoy that Martha Stewart. Like they
but the people you see who doing it though, they always got money.
Yeah.
Like the Nara Smiths who like I enjoy it. It's because she can still do it comfortably. Like she buying $100 aprons and wearing these expensive ass dresses and like you know what I mean? Just treating herself.
What you're saying.
Like
I get what you're saying, but I think that's people who are influenced by social media. Like there has been a long history of humanity. Women. That's a problem. That's what I'm saying. Like that's part of the problem. That thing. Here we go. This right here. Bam. Living by committee. Yeah, that's a problem because I mean we have a long history of people who made homes who were not rich that couldn't afford all the luxury goods and delivery. So
but like there's in our current day, like I mean I think the generations before us didn't have all these needs for indulgence and blowing off steam, and they didn't have those baked into culture. Like there wasn't this idea of you get to. Even the men like who worked those long crazy hours and pretty much got home, went to sleep. You know what I mean? Like I feel like leisure and stuff like that wasn't as baked into the culture back then versus now. Like there is an expectation of leisure for most people to some degree. Like some way that you get to blow off the steam of the day, relax, indulge yourself. I think that's part of the culture now. And so, while I don't think there's no one in our culture who would be fulfilled if all they did was the thing they had to the task. And that's kind of more what I'm talking about. Not overindulgence, but just like I literally can't do anything to indulge myself because we can't afford it. So all I do is stay home and just cook, clean. I can't go get my nails done once in a while, even if I want to. I can't buy a nice dress for myself if I want to. I can't take the kids for experiences if I want to because we literally can't afford it. That's kind of more what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I would not be able to do that. I would not be able to do that.
Yeah. And I'm not even speaking for you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem because that's part of the consumerist culture.
Yeah.
So people in a weird way, I'm doubling back. People can't find contentment and satisfaction in the commission of their duty. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't, but I think that's something that we've lost, but it's also become problematic. And that goes into my whole capitalism rant, which I don't believe.
Yeah, like post-consumerist, like consumerist culture is out of control. Yeah,
it's out of control, but that's what leads to the transactional relationships, because people feel like now my indulgence is now your responsibility to take. Like it, I'm putting the weight of my indulgence is now yours to carry. You're supposed to make my indulgence a reality.
And that's why I think you have to look at how the person indulges themselves and like decide, do you want to take that on? Because everybody indulges. Some people have what I would say is a vice, which is not. That's overindulgence. The vice, overconsumption is a real thing. But the expectation that everybody wants space to indulge is reasonable. Yeah. And you have to think about like, what does that look like for that person?
And that's the thing right there.
Yeah.
Because that's where I think the living by committee becomes a problem, because everybody's trying to indulge on the level of somebody that's in a different capacity.
That's completely, some of these people are like way in realms they should not be, you know? And that's what I'm saying. Like, for regular people with a regular job, why isn't a dive bar good enough to go talk to somebody and get to know them?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're paying, you know, for regular people, it should scale. I think it should scale according to the actual life you live.
Yeah.
So I agree with it.
Yeah, everybody trying to indulge on the same Kardashian level.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody does not need a Versace robe. Like, why does everybody have a Versace robe? Like,
I don't need a $45 water cup.
Yo.
I'd be in the house all day. I'm not a construction worker.
And you're gonna get all the colors? Like
I'm not a construction worker. I don't work outside. I don't have any utility in my life that I need a $45 cup.
Yeah, I need my water to stay cold for 23 hours.
You ain't gonna drink it before then?
Not camping. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest
thing. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Living by committee, boy. Living by committee.
For his company the first time that we hung out. After we finished eating at Komodo's, he suggested that we go to a bar around the corner. So we did. I told him that it had to be fast because the valet was going to end and I had my car in valet.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know why it's not. Okay.
I must not have clicked.
Oh, okay.
He said it was going to be fast. We end up going to the bar. You know, while we're at the bar, he's saying some things to me, you know, that indicate to me that he's very interested in me, such as, you know, he wants to give me 3 kids and like
red flags.
You know, just a lot. He did try to kiss me and I politely turned to.
Whoa, we just saying that to people on dates? That is a sign of obsession. That's a sign of obsession.
Yeah.
These are the types of danger signs. Like, you need to know when you're in danger. Some women don't know until it's too late. That's he was already in the red, but damn, you thought about how many kids you want to have with me.
Right. And you only know me.
And we supposedly just meeting for the first time.
Just me. First time.
Your girl, you don't know you talking to a stalker?
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that was a big old red flag. And the fact that like he's also trying to spend so much money on the first day. I know that people have this fantasy of being courted. Man, we do not have that kind of culture in America. Like there might be pockets of stuff I heard in the South that some people have that stuff where they got people live where courting happens, but we don't have the family structure.
No,
we don't have the family structure in America for courting.
And I found that people who make comfortable amounts of money, like super comfortable amounts of money, don't even believe that either.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll take an escort, but like I've dated guys who make good money, like 6 figures into it, you know, and they still like they take you because they live social lives. So like they don't have these like crazy ideas of what a expensive restaurant means, because it's like I go to expensive restaurants, they're not special to me.
Yeah.
So
either
it's
I enjoy the food or I don't.
Yeah, it's like they think more about what kind of experience they want to have. So it's like, oh, I want to just chat, shoot some pool or throw darts, just kind of talk to you and have drinks. We'll go to a place that is the most logical for that environment that I want to have on a date. You know what I'm saying? It's not this. So typically men who make the type of money she's talking about, maybe wants a man to make, don't even just go on dates to super expensive restaurants with you for the first date.
Yeah.
Unless they trying to fuck.
Yeah.
But then if they could really afford an escort, they more than likely would just get an escort.
Just do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
to the side of my cheek because, you know, I'm just a lady. I'm a Southern Belle. You feel me? Like I come from a different era, come from a different closet. I'm a grown woman. You feel me? Like, so I just feel like, you know, let's take things slow. Let's like,
man, this ain't no Southern Belle. Like you got all this out here. No.
Where's she from?
I don't
Texas?
know. I don't know. That ain't no Southern Belle. Like I seen a
I
couple
don't
things
see
on
no
her
pearls.
IG. Ain't no
Where
Southern
the pearls
Belle,
at? Debutante.
it might be, yeah, Southern Taco Bell, Southern bell pepper. It might be Southern something, but ain't no BELLE. That ain't no Southern Belle, y'all. I hate liars. Right. There's a
I don't even
Southern
know what that
Bells.
means. That's like a conservative.
There's a class distinction with the Southern Belle.
Yeah, like debutante. Like, that's what we would say debutante, which is like a higher social lights class.
Yeah, there's gonna be some mannerisms, the way you carry yourself. Like taking an expensive date with some dude you don't know because he saw you half naked on the internet. That's not Southern Belle behavior. That's wild.
Navigate at a pace that makes sense. You know, I'm not trying to rush into anything. And I expressed all these things to him. I told him, you know, please just respect me as a lady. You know, we'll get there eventually if we do continue to talk to each other, but let's just take it slow. He seemed like he was okay with that, even though he did try more times throughout the night.
Now, again, you've expressed your boundaries. And
you say he seemed okay with it, but he kept trying me. That means he's not okay with it.
Right. So all these flags. Now, again, a Southern Belle would have had somebody teaching the culture of courting, and all these would have been problematic, and they would have ended the date.
Because she said they was talking like, I mean, I guess she'll get to it. They kept talking after this date.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I was like,
Jesus Christ.
Girl, you try to smile and nod through the date. Okay, this was nice. But now you done set yourself up because he gonna feel like you, man.
Yeah, she did some goofy stuff. Like even after you, because again, we're gonna get there. But even after you block him, you don't keep engaging when he reaches out through other various communications. You don't engage. Like if you really don't engage.
Somebody a stalker.
Yeah. Don't keep entertaining it.
Anyway, so after we leave the bar, we go to get my car out of valet. He kindly pays for the valet, and then he asked me, could I take him home? So since he had just
hold on. So he ain't got a car?
Right. Why are you taking this dude home?
Why?
First date.
Whoa. So she parked in valet. How he
got there is how he got it. How he got there is how he got to go. Because you're a Southern Belle. A Southern Belle is not taking.
Because that girl who got murdered took the guy home on the first date. I said, now hold on, because you can't be taking me to Komodo and you ain't got no car though.
Exactly. Or Uber, or however you got here is how you go home. It ain't
unless he stay in the high rise next door.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be asking for no ride.
Yeah. Shouldn't ask for a ride and shouldn't be asking you because you're a Southern Belle. What are you talking about? Why would you? Why would you be taking the guy home? Either for the ride or for the nightcap.
Because now it's either like some psychotic scheme and shit where he got a car, but he purposely didn't bring it so that you can take him home. Like it's either he ain't got a car or he's scheming to make sure that he asks for a ride, and either one of them is just ghetto. And
exactly,
I'm uncomfortable.
As she should have been,
right?
As she should have been, considering all the flags that this dude been throwing up flags left and right.
For the valet, he paid for the date. You know, I didn't see any problem with taking him home, so I decided to take.
So again, she's not a Southern Belle. She's from the South.
Him home. It was my birthday, so when we get there,
on her birthday, she's taking him home on.
He's like inviting me up to come for a little bit. I'm really apprehensive about it because I didn't.
Now he's inviting her up for the nightcap. All these signals, like all these are like clear transactional signals or problematic signals. He's sending a lot of clear signals. So many of them.
Want to give the wrong impression by going up to his apartment, but he really wasn't really trying to take no for an answer. And I was like, okay, you know what? I can come up for a
So he's insistent. You're
You
apprehensive.
just said you had all the red flags, but I went up anyway, which just negated everything you saw, and you went up anyway because he wouldn't take no for it. But you in the car, he outside, girl, just leave.
Now, this is on her birthday, a first date with some man that hit her up on her DMs, and she's a Southern belle.
And what she said, he wasn't trying to take no for an answer, and then
wasn't trying to take no for an answer. Now, why would you go to somebody's room that won't take no for an answer?
And he already didn't take no for an answer on the date because you said he was
with
trying
the kiss and the touch
you already.
Yeah. Doesn't take no for an answer once. Doesn't take no for an answer for going into his room. Why would you go?
This is gonna keep escalating. This is a pattern of not taking no for an answer and you being wishy-washy with your boundaries, which is just a recipe for a fucking disaster.
She lied.
Maybe she lying or she wishy. Like, this is just the point is it's a recipe for disaster. I don't even need to know if she lying or not. This is a terrible dynamic she's creating. These are two people. You're creating a terrible dynamic for some foolery. That's what I'm going to say.
Because even though in her mind she is painting a negative picture of him, it's also painting a negative picture of her as well. Like, she has no ability to police herself. She should not be free to engage in society because she has no agency and autonomy of her own. Like, she needs a caretaker.
She don't know how to protect herself.
She needs a chaperone. She's a child. Like, this is a child. She's getting stranger danger right now.
She's getting
led away by the hand.
Stranger danger from interaction 1 with stranger danger.
Yes.
We stranger dangering.
Yes. We have a lot of adult children out here who don't have the capacity to care for themselves in society. They make all of these bad decisions she's made with somebody that's given her clear problem signs. All these clear signs. That she's even saying he won't take no for an answer.
He already said he want to give her 3 kids.
Well,
I'm not going up to that nigga apartment.
Why would you?
He trying to start today. Okay.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't remember this. I must have blacked out.
A little bit. So
you dissociated like she must have?
I think I dissociated.
Go to his apartment. We hang out for a little bit, but when I tell y'all, it was like literally so brief and so chill. He had a nice view of the city, so we kind of like was on the balcony. We was chilling, whatever. Oh, yeah. I want to reiterate that there was literally no sexual conduct between me and him. There was not even like a kiss on the lips. There was not any of that. Like, it was cool though. We had good vibes. Both of us seemed to enjoy each other's company. When I left, everything seemed to be good. It is what it is. Now let's go ahead and get into these messages because this is where I need to like pick y'all up and get y'all.
So everything went good.
Yeah.
Okay. So according to her, everything was fine, but they had good vibes and they enjoyed each other's company. That's the last thing she said. She said but a lot. I'm gonna negate everything she said previous to the but.
So all the red flags ended with a positive night.
Right. Let the record show that she has said they had good vibes and they enjoyed each other's company. Okay.
Ended on a positive note, positive interaction, a very seemingly successful first date.
Right.
In which
because this is her experience of the date. Yes. So if she secretly felt like I would never see him again, this is where she would have said this. This isn't him telling the story. This is her relaying her experience of the day. So the record is going to show that she had generally positive feelings about this date. Okay.
Just hold on. This is going to take a turn for more than the worst. After the day, he's texting me. He's telling me that he feels very blessed and lucky that he got the opportunity to meet me, that he respects me. He wants to support me in my life. And then he told me happy birthday the next day. So when I woke up, I told him good morning. Thank you. We had took pictures that night. Like, it was like a real goofy fun time or whatever. But the pictures came out bad. And he was like, I should have put the flash on. So I was just like, at least we got them for memories. He was like, yeah, I love them. I can't wait to see you again soon.
Now, Goofy Fun Time is like a tale for me. Like, Goofy Fun Time says a very specific thing to me, but I'm just couching that in everybody.
I'm trying to think of what Goofy Fun Time, because she said they went on this very high class date. So the goofiness would have had to happen at the house. Okay,
I see, for me, Goofy Fun Time speaks to her feelings of the guy. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That he goofy zone. Or
he's friend zone guy. And again, let's pull him back up. You got Jerome King in the Bay shirt.
Okay, Jerome.
Right. and she's probably dressed like that in her red dress or something like that. I don't know how he was dressed on the date. Let's say he's even wearing a suit. I could see a fresh and fit dude giving a goofy fun time.
Yeah, goof troop.
Goof troops.
He probably got an Airbnb too.
Probably did. Probably wanted to go to give the whole Miami experience. No mature discussions. Absolutely. Because again, everything he's saying to me is screaming transaction. Like he's talking about the kids. Like he's trying to, I guess they call it love bombing now. I think he was trying to do everything that he was taught that women will respond to give sex, like to please, like to get a woman's ear.
And where the level he feel like she was at too.
Yes.
Because she's a model and he's, she's probably, just higher price point. So he wants to show up the way that he thinks that, she would want him to show up.
Yes. Man, he's hitting all the pressure points.
Yeah.
Like maybe she want kids and I'm gonna support you. Like he's hitting all the little things that women say that they want.
Yeah.
So
once again, there's more than likely not a super interest in him as a person. So he knows that if his surface level can look like he has the things, that it'd usually be enough.
Yes. It's the fresh and fit playbook. You gotta look the part. Got to look the part.
And I told him I'm excited to see you again too. So after this, he went on a vacation for like a week and some change. I knew he was going on the vacation, and so I didn't really reach out because I knew that he was on the vacation. Also, I just feel like if you're interested in a woman as a man, like the man is the pursuer. You feel me? So even though we did have a deep,
that's also something that is going to be problematic
it's not time
in the near future. That pursuer thing. That whole man is the pursuer.
Yeah.
Like our society is way too egalitarian.
That's why you gonna get. Roles. That's why you finna get stalkers, because they'll pursue your ass.
Yes.
You don't want them to. He gonna pursue your ass forever.
Yeah, we just talked about on Mr. He Says, like you can't keep pushing away the people who are, I guess, marginally like assertive. Because you can't keep pushing them away, saying don't approach, don't talk to us. You can't keep doing all that because they'll all walk away, and the only people left will be people who are highly aggressive, who just do not care about the social pressures and norms to like women's safety.
Girl, you want to be pursued. A stalker will definitely pursue you, girl.
A stalker, a predator, a stalker, a user, a scammer. All those people still pursue, and the highly interested dude still will too. But this dude doesn't know you. So a highly interested person that does not know you, that's kind of off.
Yeah, because she can be in the space of the relationship where it doesn't make sense for her to pursue him because we don't owe each other nothing and we've only just met each other. Why would I be? It's not that serious, and he's not allowed to have the same.
Not allowed to have that, which is weird.
It's not
in this society. It's strange. Oh, let's go, Grits. First time I heard.
He tripping. You got 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, he like now.
Decent first date. I'm not going to like exert a lot of energy into chasing you as a man because that's
I promise you, I'm so tired of hearing that, man. Women, I don't know why women are getting to this place where they don't think there's any energy. The transaction, this is back to the transaction thing. There has to be some energy in the transaction. There has to be some return. That's why things are breaking down. The transaction is the transaction. You got to exchange something as well. I look away for 2 seconds. She went from he couldn't take no for an answer to a week vacation. No, she's not on this vacation. He went on the vacation on his own. Sort of. You're going to hear about this vacation he took. Just remember that we talked about fresh and fit. So I don't know if you could think about what kind of vacation he took.
Right.
But yeah, he went on a vacation. Now, again, they've only had one date. They don't know each other. So why is she even feeling like the language? She's spending a lot of language talking about why she shouldn't pursue him or whatever. She's been on one date with this guy and he's on vacation.
Right.
Why would he then have any obligation to contact you while he's on vacation? And y'all don't have a relationship. So there shouldn't even be this much verbiage. It should have been, okay, he had a 1 week vacation and then I heard from him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But she has in her mind some expectation of communication during this trip because she's still talking about it.
That's just like not who I am naturally. You feel me? So
she's justifying why she didn't reach out to him while he was on vacation. Well, she doesn't have to because they've only met one time. So the fact that, again, she's spending energy explaining why she didn't reach out to him, meaning and saying that the man is a pursuer. So that's inferring he should have been contacting her while he was on vacation to the woman he's only been out with once?
I don't really reach out while he's away, but while we were at our first date, he was saying that he was already planning our second date. Like we were supposed to go on a date the Saturday that he got back. He got back on a Friday, which was yesterday. So literally before this man left, he was like, don't go to Nikki Beach until I get back so we can go together the Saturday after I get back. These were his words that came out of his mouth. So Friday, I text.
So they lined up a date when he gets back.
Okay.
He's supposed to be coming back on Friday, taking her out on Saturday. They've connected enough on his, after, I guess, towards the end of his vacation to set up and confirm a date.
Texted him and said, safe travels today. Literally, that was the first time we had spoken since our date. Super chill. Yeah. He responds back. He's like, thanks, boo. I don't respond to that. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't feel no type of way or anything. I just didn't see any reason to respond. He texts me again and he says, let's chill when I get back. So I asked him, are we still on for Nikki Beach tomorrow? He says, yes. I said, yay, I'm excited. He says, me too. I miss you. Now, at this point,
now he's talking about boo. He's confirming. They're confirming. She confirmed that they're going to Nikki Beach the next day or whatever. But he's familiar term boo. Like he's been out with her once, but he's putting on that performance of familiarity and pet names. All right, so here we go.
This is when everything goes fucking left. One thing about me, like, I like to be very genuine in dating. You feel me?
Now, couch that. So at the end of that last exchange, he had said, I missed you. Right? Yeah. I miss you. So now she's saying she likes to be genuine in dating. Keep that in your mind, please. I like to be genuine in dating. What does that mean? I like to be, Brie, I like to be, what would you expect someone to mean if they say I like to be genuine in dating?
What I'm supposed to pretend that means, or what kind of person would actually feel the need to say that?
One more time, what was that?
What I'm supposed to pretend it means, or what I would glean
what would you
from
think,
somebody who
what would you think the average person? Yeah, what would you think the average person means when they say that? Mm-hmm.
When the average person say something like that, that mean they're an asshole.
Okay.
That's just my experience.
I can rock with that.
If you feel like you need to say I'm genuine, that means you finna say some genuinely asshole stuff, or be genuinely rude, or be genuinely dismissive.
Okay.
And that's why you're saying, like, I'm just being real. Like, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would
take it.
But I don't know what the average person really would think.
Yeah, a lot of people, like you said, the assholes use genuine like that to not filter. You're right. I go with more Mr. He said, I would think that somebody who is dating somebody that has a genuine is as clearly communicating their expectations and intentions.
Oh,
if they're dating, that's what I would expect. If somebody says, I'm genuine in dating, I'm genuine. So I'm assuming that, like, listen, I want to date so I can have experiences and have fun, if that's what they're into, or I'm just looking for people I can like develop a network and friendships with, okay? Or if I'm looking to develop a long-term romantic relationships, I would expect if somebody's genuine, they say that and they mean that.
Oh,
to the best of their ability. That's what I would expect genuine to me.
That's not how I listen to humans.
I'm just, if they say that, I'm
yeah,
assuming,
no, I mean, I know that that's what the average person thinks. I'm just saying, for me, in experience, that's not how I listen to how people that's not how I listen to people when they talk.
Yeah, I listen to what they say, and then I'm going to try to see if it matches up with the way they behave.
Yeah, when I listen to what people feel like they need to declare declarative statements, because see, it's like I'm already, I'm carrying that is understood, like generally. Societally, that is understood that you're dating someone wanting to know the real them. So once again, if that's already traditionally understood, it's moot. So then if you feel the need to declare it, then that means that you're not doing that.
Got you. That's perfect. Because I would never be voicing it. I try to be genuine in dating, because that's an internal intention. That's a feeling. Like if I'm dating, I'm genuinely trying to date for whatever my reasons
What are we
are.
dating for? What other reason are we dating for if not to get to know the actual person to potentially be in a relationship?
Well, for fun. But when I was dating for fun, I told people for fun. Right. I was genuine about that, but I told them and I expressed it.
Yeah, I'm not looking for, but usually you would say I'm not looking for a relationship. Or like I'm just trying to have fun. Which is that's not necessarily a red flag if somebody says that, because most people are going to assume you're dating for a relationship. So then declaring that you're here to have fun makes sense.
Right. Yes. And see, that was me saying I was genuine by telling you what my true intentions were.
Yeah.
But I didn't say I was genuine. I didn't tell people I'm being genuine. I just was genuine. So you're right.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
like everything isn't. Yeah, everything isn't. A declarative statement doesn't mean they're lying. It's just like if you're declaring something that's supposed, like societally understood in the activity that we're doing, why are you saying that? Like, it's like if I was boxing somebody and they're like, I'm about to hit you. You be like, bitch, with a chair? And with an illegal move? Because we're boxing.
What you about to do? Because we're already boxing. I expect you to hit me.
I expect you to hit me. So why are you telling me you're about to hit me?
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
you're telegraphing your punch, so you're probably not about to punch me because
you about to hit me with a chair. Like,
there's a trick here. I'm with you. You're right.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I mean, but that's true because that's what happens here. She tries to be genuine in dating, and I'm gonna point out that she was never genuine. But anyway,
right.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people try to love bomb. They try to like gaslight each other into a relationship, into a situationship. And I'm just not with that. Like, I'm all about like genuine honesty, transparency, etc. And the reason I say that is because I'm like, okay, you don't really miss me because you've been on vacation for a week and a half and I haven't heard from you. Like, even
not again.
Passive aggressive.
Oh yeah.
And that's why she said genuine. Because now you're okay. So when she said genuine, that means I'm about to express my real feeling to you. Like I said, you're either about to say something genuinely asshole, genuinely. It's passive aggressive. If she actually said that to him, that's passive aggressive. Because you could have just felt that way inside and not have to say that to me. So I don't know if she said that to him, but if she did say it to him, that's passive aggressive. She didn't.
I mean, because it comes out in the text exchange. She said some stuff, but like that's what led to a blow up. Okay. But she didn't articulate that feeling, which would have been genuine.
Yeah,
but she does not. She does not articulate that. But let's go back to everything she said so far. She did not articulate that she had a problem with a lot of the things he did. She just kept going along with it.
Right.
All them times he kept pressing her boundaries. She never talked about her. I know I'm uncomfortable. I'm apprehensive. I'm sure she never said any of those things because again, he kept persisting. So she just went up to his room but she came out okay. So she's like, okay, the date was okay. I came out okay. We had a good, goofy, fun time.
Right.
All this, no harm, no foul. That's kind of how she counted. No harm, no foul.
But she hasn't been genuine this whole time in the sense
has not been genuine.
You haven't communicated to him your experience of the date at all. You're just like, yeah, it was fine. I had a great time. I had fun. I want to see you again. Like everything you're communicating is not necessarily genuinely how you felt on the date.
Mm-mm. And then even to the text message, the fact that he went on vacation and did not text her the entire time, she feels a way about that because she just had she had a couple of minutes of dialogue about how he didn't text her while she was gone and how the man should be pursuing. And as a woman, I'm not going to do all that because da 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 da.
Yeah.
Side note: why is there a picture of tits on the left of this video?
That's her.
Yeah, that's her. That's a picture from her. That's a picture from
IG,
her
maybe?
Instagram.
Or
that's a picture from her IG. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's from the date, but I know it's from her IG because I pulled the same thing for the thumbnail and I didn't look. I didn't look at the caption. So it's definitely from her IG. And the person who stitched together her TikToks for YouTube, they decided to include, I guess, a different look because a more dolled up look as opposed to her looking like, I guess, casual.
Right.
Us talking right now was because I hit you up and said safe travels. You feel me? Now, I didn't take that as that he was not interested in me. Like, I didn't feel that way.
Now, she said she didn't take it as him not being interested, but she just said if a man doesn't contact you, he's not interested because a man pursues what he's interested in. And she's not going to pursue. But she said she contacted, and that's why they're having the whole exchange.
that way at all. I just feel like, I mean, you don't really miss me because if you miss me, you would have reached out. But you know,
now she's saying the exact opposite. If you miss me, you would have reached out. So like she's back and forth. She's trying to, I don't know what, I'm not sure exactly why she was back and forth on that. Like that was back-to-back sentences too. Hold up.
Because it seemed, play it again.
That was back-to-back sentences.
Problems, you feel me? Now I didn't take that as that he was not interested in me. Like I didn't feel that way at all.
I didn't take it that he was not interested because he didn't reach out. I didn't say he was not interested, but then I'm going to say, but he didn't miss me or you would have reached out. Like that's weird to go back-to-back sentences. I wonder why she did that. I wish I could read what feelings she flipped through.
I think she seemed to have changed. It's weird. The reason I think it's weird is because she's picking up on him saying he missed her as a love bombing tactic. Like you're overselling how you feel about me to try to woo me. But I think the reason it's landing strangely on you because everything he's done up until now is the same idea. But see, when it was taking you to dinner and paying all this money and taking you to Nikki Beach and doing all this stuff that was money or transactional, him doing the most was okay or not a red flag. But then him saying he missed you, you're like, you don't really miss me. You don't even know me. And it's like,
right.
But none of
now, all of a
that.
sudden she's flipped it.
Yeah. Now that value didn't come out anywhere before this, when everything he's done has been on brand with the same behavior. It's like what I say with Lestat. Lestat showing off and wooing and buying all this stuff is the same as Lestat dropping you from the it's just feels depending on how you experience it, you decide which one is more on brand. But everything he's done is on brand. Him calling her boo, him doing all this stuff, him trying to see her immediately once he got back. So him saying, I miss you to someone he doesn't really is not in his life like that. It's also very on brand.
Right. And it's weird that she would want to call that one out.
She called that
didn't
one
want to
out.
call out the 3 kids.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Taking you to Nikki Beach, taking you to Komodo, taking you to his nothing else was but just the emotional, the fact that he may have feelings for you, I think. Or whatever. Something about that triggered her. Yeah.
Why is she the bear that she chose? Okay. Yeah. Now she is problematic. Yeah, that's what he's pointing out. Like she's made a lot of problematic decisions this entire time. We're going to get to him. She's going to expose the things that he did. He's going to expose himself, but she's been making like a child. She's been thinking with a child brain, and I think this is something that we've infected our culture with because she's not actually. She's hasn't been able to see
the real picture.
She's perforated.
Yeah,
she's perforated. She's not good at assessing. She's not good at maintaining her boundaries and distance, and then she also doesn't understand signaling.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Like accepting expensive dates from guys is signaling something. But women
especially
have
a guy from your DM.
That's a guy from your DMs, but a guy that you don't know, like a guy that you don't know, taking you out on $500 dates is signaling something.
Yeah.
And I think what Bree talked about earlier with that indulgence, that expectation of indulgence, that has superseded the intellect. Like that, I feel entitled to indulge myself at your expense. That transaction is a one-sided thing that I should be able to expect. That's created like infants. That indulgence that's infantile because she's not thinking.
Because I show up looking pretty, I deserve all of this stuff. Because she ain't did nothing. So according to her, she ain't did nothing. So just her beauty is
it.
Like the guy said, overestimating the value that you're bringing.
Because she won't give any effort. She doesn't believe in giving any effort.
But you're not an escort.
But she's not an escort. Which is worse because she'll take all the expense and not want to give sex.
No, I said just get an escort for this money he paid. It got to be an escort in that price point somewhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just feel like, I mean, you don't really miss me because if you miss me, you would have reached out. But that's neither here nor there. I feel like you shouldn't miss me. It doesn't matter. Like we only went on one date. I don't really care,
But obviously you do because you said it multiple times.
But what I do care about is just being like genuine. You know what I'm saying? Just being straight.
Now, if she really
he
cared
ain't
about
been
being
genuine this whole time.
He ain't never been genuine. So she's a liar.
So I was like, he ain't, but or she did cognitive dissonance.
It's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, I think
she thinks she's honest.
Yeah,
she thinks she's honest, but she's
and
not.
she and something about her frame of the world is making her blind to the fact that someone wanting to spend that much money on you, not knowing you, and not getting anything in return is genuine. Like,
yes,
there's something in her framework that makes that invisible to her, but the expression of feelings is visible to her.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Greg and Yeller are talking about, that picture doesn't scream genuine. You're not a genuine person. You're signaling. It's very clear that you're signaling. Everybody can see that you're signaling, but you're also not offering the thing that you're signaling. You're signaling sexuality. You're signaling availability, but all throughout the day, you denied him availability and sexuality. That's opportunistic. That's exploitative. That's one-sided transaction. So she's the one actually to this point breaking the contract because she's playing the part of the escort and not going to fulfill the role of the escort.
Forward, we don't have to like love bomb each other into something that is not. So I say all that to say that at the time I didn't respond because I really didn't know how to respond to that message without being inauthentic. So he texted me today.
So she's such a genuine person. She's so
You can
genuine
just
and honest.
say, when you say you miss me, it makes me feel like, how could you miss me if you don't know me? Or it makes me feel like you need to perform, and I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
You could just communicate how you feel.
She could. But the only way she could think to respond was inauthentic. How could a genuine person only
know
be
how
able to formulate inauthentic responses?
It's like
That's
AI
weird.
bots.
That's strange.
Today, and it's like, hey, I tell him, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you yesterday. I was working last night. Now, honestly, I wanted us to have the conversation about the I miss you thing in person.
Now, did she communicate that?
She did not communicate that.
Did not communicate that. She had a want. She had a desire to talk about the I miss you thing, which is the I miss you thing that she said did not matter. It's neither here nor there. I don't care about that. But she wants to have a conversation about it.
In person.
Now, this is something that men have a problem with a lot of times, because women will say, I don't have a problem with something. But I want to have a conversation about it. Why are we having so much conversation about something that really doesn't matter?
She said it really wasn't even a non-factor, yeah.
It was a non-factor.
I don't know
it's
you, you don't know me.
We don't owe each other anything.
I want to
let's talk about it in person.
To talk about it.
It's incongruent. The thoughts don't line up. She admits she likes him. She can't deny liking him after she gets rejected.
I think I think the programming that's the script that seems to be running in her mind is he's a narc or he's love bombing her. That's what she's thinking. But it's once again, it's strange because everything he's done up until now has been that.
Yeah.
So
it's clear signaling.
It's clear.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy you. I'm trying to buy you, and I keep throwing money on the table, whether it's emotional money or real money. I keep throwing that on the table. So it's just weird
that I miss you would trigger her.
Yeah. Then he puts like that one more $5 tip on there, and you're like, "What's this? I'm not a prostitute." Like what?
Yeah. It's almost like it's very detached. It's very like it's very escort detached. Of like, I'm okay with you spending the money. I'm okay with the performance of more investment, but we can't let feelings get involved. Like, that's what it would come off as to me.
Yeah, which is weird because he was talking about having 3 kids with her, which means even kids are detached from feeling with her. Exactly. Like that didn't cause like the kids would have. That should have been the thing that got.
That was like first. Yeah, I wouldn't even went to your apartment after you said you want to have 3 kids with me.
Escort adjacent. Facts. Yeah. Why would you even go to that person's apartment? That's weird. I want to pump you.
He's trying to put 3 kids in you.
Yeah, run.
I'm in danger.
Run. But no, saying I miss you. He went on vacation. So listen, he has a vacation pre-planned. He goes on a date with you, like the day before the vacation, and on the day after the vacation, he wants to go out with you again. To me, that guy missed you. Now, maybe y'all didn't have such conversation that he wants to talk to you every day. Like maybe you weren't that interesting of a conversationalist, but maybe there is something about you that he missed.
He was in
like he's trying
Colombia
to be in your presence
or something. So it's like I'm just gonna assume your signal trash in Colombia. Or whatever. Like she said, he was on vacation. Okay, so y'all haven't talked for like 10 days.
Checking in on you. Yeah. Why does he have to check in on you? He's only met you once.
It sounded like maybe, and I'm assuming they probably were having like text conversations and stuff in between. But if he went a span of 10 days without talking to her, maybe he do feel like, okay, I missed you a little bit.
Yeah,
on some level, not like
on some level.
I miss you, like my soul is pining for you. But we've been texting every day. Now I went 10 days and we ain't text, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, her logic ain't logicking.
That's crazy.
Because I felt like communicating through text, it can get a little tricky. But he responded back, K, which let me know that he felt some type of way about the fact that I didn't respond yesterday. So I was like, okay, you know what? I guess we just should have the conversation.
Yeah,
when
so
he
she
said I
didn't
miss you, she never respond.
Yeah, she didn't give him a direct response to that.
So like it sounds like he said I missed you. She never responded, and then he said K, or did she say she said something to him before that and he responded?
Let's go back a little bit.
A little tricky, but he responded back K, which let me know that hey, sorry I didn't get back to you yesterday. I was working last night.
Okay. Yeah, sorry I didn't get back to you. So she didn't respond that first.
But she did. This was her response. I'm gonna hear what she said.
Now, honestly, I wanted us to have the conversation about the I miss you thing in person because I felt like communicating through text, it can get a little tricky. But he responded back K, which let me know that he felt some type of way about the fact that I didn't respond yesterday.
So that was to the apology. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you yesterday. I was working. So he's like K. So she took that as he felt the type of way that she didn't respond.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I guess we just should have the conversation now. Get it over with. It's no big deal. So I text him back. I say, also, I didn't really know how to respond to your message since I.
Now, wait. Now, hold up. So she thinks he feels a way about not being responded to. Hold on. And this is how she starts this off. Now, again, I see he feels some type of way. Let's just go ahead and have the conversation because he feels some type of way.
With it's no big deal. So I text him back. I say, also, I didn't really know how to respond to your message since I hadn't heard from you in a while. That apparently was the.
What you mean you hadn't heard from him in a while? He was on vacation, and
you said that's why you didn't reach out to him because you. So she's still lying. So she's lying. Once again, if somebody's saying they're genuine, I'm assuming they're about to lie because.
Bro,
she's lying the whole time because you said you knew he was out of town. You didn't expect to talk to him. But instead of confronting him with it just made me uncomfortable that you would miss me, you lied and said that you hadn't talked to him in a while, which is seeming like you're shaming him for not reaching out to you, which is what you said you didn't expect him to do.
That's so wild. And then instead of addressing the thing that she thought his feelings might, because again, the I miss you thing wasn't a big deal. It's neither here nor there.
The reason he said that because you didn't even address anything he said.
Didn't even respond to him. You ignored him all night.
But even when you responded, you didn't address anything. You didn't answer him. You just said, sorry, I didn't answer you. I was working. I missed you too. Would have been a return of the I missed you too. Sorry, I didn't respond. You still
But she didn't even have to say that. She could have just said, I'm looking forward to our date tomorrow. Instead of I miss you. She don't even have to address that.
She didn't say one more thing. You know,
anything.
Like when I tell my daughters how to talk to people or how to converse with people, I say what you're gonna say. Say one more thing to show the person you're engaging with them. So like even if she would have said exactly that, she just like, oh, I miss you too, or I can't wait to see you tomorrow. One more thing, because that's a shut off statement. That's a closed statement. That's like I was at work. What is he supposed to say to that? He either got to ask a question or he's got to start a whole fresh new conversation. Versus in a dialogue or an exchange, she would have responded to what he said before, you know. Yeah. So he was. I think on the last.
She intentionally ignored part of the conversation,
and she was cutting the conversation off.
Rico, I was supposed to call you. My bad, Rico. I was supposed to call you and I didn't. My bad. My bad. But I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna get to it. My bad.
This is one of those nuanced conversation things that I don't think people realize what they're putting out. What she did was cut the conversation off.
Yes.
And he picked up on that. And that's like, okay, you don't want to talk to me.
Yeah. Because she addressed the wrong thing.
You didn't address what I said at all. You just cut the conversation off, and you didn't leave an opening for me to re-engage with you.
Mm-hmm.
That means you want to talk to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I wouldn't even took it like me personally. I wouldn't even took it like that. I don't like. I might have really like. But did you hear what I said? Or like, okay, you saw I said, or like, I would have restated or something.
But
maybe
in a real conversation.
Yeah, but even in a text conversation, I would give room for her to not have fully paid attention to what I said. It's a day later. She saw that I texted, and maybe it might still be on the screen, Brie. But I'm saying people, I know people enough to know that some people just are. I've only been on one date with you. I may not be important enough for you to pay attention to what I'm saying. I don't anticipate that.
And that's exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
But
so I would feel like she said the way she said she felt is how I would have felt. Like, I'm probably not that important. I don't expect you to call me on a vacation. I don't have any expectations for you. So if I really wanted you to, if I really thought I missed you was important for me to communicate to you, I would just say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I was really looking forward to our date tomorrow. You know, I say, I miss you. You know, how you feeling? Or I would have thrown something else out there after she said that I'm working. So,
and that's why I'm saying his interpretation wasn't wrong. She's not interested in engaging with you.
Yeah.
Which is why he just said K.
Yeah.
Which is that is almost like in text language, K is just like I'm not willing to talk to you, but I'm not going to carry this conversation. Like you gave me a closed statement, I responded to closed statement. Yeah. If you want to engage with me further, I'm leaving the door open for you to now restart the conversation that you didn't continue before. So I think K in text language is kind of like a neutral response.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like it's short, but she was short.
Yeah.
So she just responded to a K with higher energy, which means this is what you want to do anyway.
Mm-hmm. But the fact that she didn't even address his feeling, like the feelings she perceived of him, she didn't address those at all.
No, she's gonna escalate because he said K, which is once again my favorite thing to do is give somebody a very neutral prompt and see how they respond. Because now I know you being passive aggressive. I know you got something underneath that you don't want to say to me. I'm gonna say something real neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you do.
Okay.
No, let me just rip the Band-Aid off now. Basically, is what she did.
Yeah. We're about to see.
She fell into it. She fell into the trap.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The worst thing that I could have ever said. So let me let y'all know now, it's going to be a lot of text messages, a lot of audio messages, a lot of things coming after this. So he responds and says, you don't know how to respond? What message? American women so crazy. I took you to a nice ass restaurant and you saying you don't know how to respond, but you responded with Nikki Beach. That means you're not really interested.
Which is a fair assessment.
His assessment was right. If he would have just left it here, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
I'm done. This guy could have been filed away in the just wrong place, maybe not the right connection.
Yes.
Everything after this crazy.
Everything after this goes crazy. But he read it. Like, she obviously wasn't that interested.
Right.
Because like she's not gonna put any interest. Because I ain't gonna lie. If a woman's interested, like he's on vacation and she's really that interested, she's like, hey, how's the vacation going?
Yeah.
Or I don't want to bother you. Just a quick text. Because they text a lot. They text a lot. Allegedly, they communicate via text a lot. Yeah. Why I've seen so many times. Just, hey, how's the vacation going? Are you enjoying yourself? I hope you're having a good time. Just something short without a lot of emotional investment that she could have thrown out there without it being like, I'm putting forth effort. It's a text message.
And I think that's why he peeped it with the response. Because once again, if he said I missed you, even if you didn't feel like you wanted to return that sentiment, you could have even if you missed it because you really were at work, when you got back, you'd be like, oh my bad, I missed it. I was at work. How was the vacation?
Right. Nothing about him. The only thing she talked about was the date. Are we still on for the date? So like,
and I think she had said that before, right? Or
they talked about it. So she's confirmed it twice with him.
Yeah.
Like before she ghosted him that night, she didn't. Before she didn't respond, she had confirmed the date. And then the next day, when she don't want to respond to I miss you, I don't know how to respond to that. She's still confirming the date. So she's not interested in him, his recent excursion. The only thing she's interested in is him taking her on this expensive date. And he's peeping that. Like I'm transacting. I'm sending you all these clear signals and you're not giving me any of this experience that I'm paying for.
Right.
So I came late. Does this girl try to friend zone a psycho? Something like that. They only went on one date, so I'm not gonna say friend zone.
Yeah.
They went on one date.
She wasn't. She just didn't seem like interested in him for real.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like maybe you're not interested in him.
Yeah. She's exhibited a lot of lack of ability to think for herself as an adult, and she also can't pick up on signals, problematic behavior, no ability to enforce and maintain boundaries, and he is like clearly signaling like
he was
sexual
a red flag
interest.
from the jump.
He's a red flag from the jump. Over pursuing boundaries, not taking no for an answer multiple times. Like he's clearly problematic behavior.
I said that got really aggressive out of nowhere because what do you mean American women? Like, where did all of this fresh and fit talk come from? Okay. You said that you missed me, but I haven't heard from you the entire time you were gone. So I didn't know.
So obviously that bothered her.
Oh, now she's being honest. Now she can be
now
honest.
She's being genuine. Now she's being
honest. Right.
Now that he got hot and bothered.
Yeah, he escalated. So now she's being honest.
Mm-hmm. Now she can be honest.
Didn't know how to respond. I had a great time before and I was looking forward to getting to know more about you, but I'm definitely not interested in this behavior because once you start saying certain keywords, certain little, terms, that lets me know what you be watching, what you be on. And honestly, there were some signs and I ignored them. I'm not going to lie to y'all, but we're taking it too far. But baby, little did I know, Jerome was just getting started. Okay, he was just getting started. He responds, "You're not interested in me at all. I have not heard from you either. You could have texted me too. It goes both ways.
Yep.
I feel like you just want me for a free meal. I'm not interested in that behavior. I want someone to have fun with without having to spend a bunch of money every time." And then she says she's not interested. So I say, I was the one who texted you safe travels and started the whole conversation. You suggested both the restaurant and Nikki Beach, not me. And the first time I don't respond, you insult me. I'm sorry that you clearly had negative experiences in the past, and I hope that you find what you're looking for.
That ain't what happened. You can't say I said safe travels and I engaged with you, and you can't. Safe travels is what you say to somebody when they left. So that you're saying the last time you said something to him is before he left. You said safe travels, and then he said he missed you when he got back. Which how are you now saying you're the one that was engaging with him when you did not respond to a message he sent you, which was I missed you?
Yeah,
so
I actually think
she's already changed it in her mind that he didn't do all these things. And she said when she said that she missed the text, he responded aggressively when all he said was K.
Mm-hmm. What I actually think happened is she reframed the entire thing because I think she actually said safe travels after he said he was on his way back that Friday. The first time she confirmed the date, I think that's when she had talked about the safe travels. And that was their first engagement.
Right.
But he was coming back. But I don't think she initiated that with safe travels. I think he had said something. If I remember correctly, he had said something first. And then she had said safe travels.
Yeah, because it sounded like they had a whole conversation about meeting up when he got back and going to Nikki Beach. So y'all have had a conversation. He's engaging with you after his vacation. So, I mean, once again, she's reframed this whole conversation to he ain't said nothing. And then when he responded to her not responding to his text, it was aggressive when all he said was K, So, but I mean, he a psycho, but I expected this.
Yeah.
So everything that's would have happened, I'm like, not shocking.
Not shocking.
You went on a date with a stalker.
And at this point, I feel like this is a nice even break because I can already see the road this is going. So I just decided to kindly invite him to the block party in my phone and let that be that. But he said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm
doesn't take no for an answer.
Not done with you. Okay.
Not shocking. He's a stalker.
He's a stalker. Doesn't take no for an answer. He said that, and you said that about him, or not say he hasn't said that. He's pushed past your physical boundaries during the date. You said he doesn't take no for an answer when it's like, come up to my room. And now you expect okay, I'm going to block him.
Girl, just he's going to take no for an answer? The way they even met up to go on this date.
Yeah.
I automatically said, I already had in my head stalker. Stalker vibes. Like, he going to follow you, girl.
Yeah.
Would never, she shouldn't even went on a date with him in the first place.
Should have never. Shit
before he even
never.
said anything problematic. It just how he pulled up on you was problematic. Oh yeah, I think Rico maybe has already seen the video, Mr. He said.
Yeah, or I might have said it. Because I know I talked about Fresh and Fit.
Well, let's
so
say it also says it in the title that he's a passport bro. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, it's in
it is in the title. Yeah.
Yep.
And him saying Black American women would already infer that there is, once again, it's another one of those, it's not moot if you say it. So the fact that he said Black American women as a Black man in America means that there are other women from somewhere else that are a part of this equation.
Yeah. He's got something else in his head, but she's getting ready to start reading these text messages. But I really want to skip forward to the call. I can't remember. I didn't put the timestamp where he actually started talking, so I'm gonna have to skip through it at some point. But I'm gonna let her read some of this stuff, and then I'm gonna find the audio.
Goosebumps, because I have never dealt with a man like this unhinged before. But let me get into the next set of messages. So once I sent my last message, he started blowing my phone up. And so I just went ahead and blocked him. And then he started reaching out through WhatsApp. These are the WhatsApp messages. You could at least answer the phone. Hello, you see? Video call like 6 times and no answer. But you saying you don't know how to respond. That's a bullshit lie. I said I missed you, which was genuine. Then you saying you don't know how to respond. That means you don't miss me. Of course, I'm going to be annoyed with that. What the fuck? It goes both ways. I literally hit you up to go to Nikki Beach, but you saying you don't know how to respond. That shit kind of bothered me a lot. As if to say you don't.
So right there, he hit her up to go to Nikki Beach. I remember him saying something about don't go without me.
Yeah, he told her that. Yeah. Don't go until he get back. That's what he said.
Right. Yeah. So that's when the safe travels came up. So I don't know why she's acting like she hit, like, who at the end of a vacation on like safe travels. Like, that's weird, but maybe.
Forgot about everything, shaking my head. I hate it out here. Every time I try to meet a nice girl, they always use me. I can't wait to move. I always meet gold diggers, like it's crazy. And I have money, but I'm not trying to be used. I'm trying to have a good time with somebody and bond and connect. And I'll just take her to dinner, and then she says, oh, I don't know how to respond. Can you take me to Nikki? Like, do you see where I'm coming from, or am I just some crazy ass guy to you? Shaking my head, LOL, very ridiculous. You don't know how to respond. You don't even give a fuck how I feel. So I say, Jerome, you disrespecting me. We're clearly not on the same place about what we want. We went on one date, and then I did not hear from you for over a week. Yes, I had a great time with you, and I was looking forward to seeing you again. When you said you missed me, it threw me off because I had not heard from you, and I was the one who started the conversation with you, so it did not feel genuine. The way you are responding is making me very uncomfortable because this is not that big of a deal, but the way you're behaving and making assumptions about my character over dates that you suggested is a big deal, and I don't wish to see you again. So he said, you're just saying I'm aggressive. I never disrespected you. You're crazy for saying I don't know how to respond. And you're playing this passive aggressive bullshit. You're the one who's aggressive. You don't care about me. If you did, you would answer my calls. You would actually hit me up instead of saying, oh, I don't know how to respond, as if you don't have my number. I swear to God, this is why I don't take Black American women seriously.
Now, right there, it sounded like he took, I don't know how to respond as I don't have a way to communicate with you. Like, because it's like as if you don't have my number is what he attached to that. Like,
that's not how I'm understanding what he's saying.
So then why? Well, okay, so why would he say as if you don't have my number? Because they were texting.
Because I think he's just kind of like having an emotional outburst, but he is making the point of, okay, let's say I believe what you're saying. Like, you're emotionally not able to respond is an issue. But let's say you're not saying it in an emotional way. You had my number. So like you also, you not knowing how to respond, you could have called me. Like maybe if you felt like, because maybe he picked up because she said, I didn't want to do this via text. So the energy was, I don't want to do this via text. This is something I want to be able to say to you. So I think him saying that is more about like, you could have called me and expressed it verbally if you didn't know how to say it via text. Like, you got my number. You could have just called me and said it if you didn't know how to say it via text. That's kind of what I'm understanding it to mean. Like, you could have just called me, because that's like what people say. You got my number.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but there's still something off there. Like, it's like it goes back to your moot thing.
Because the whole thing, I think, is what he's picked up. She said she didn't know how to say it. via text.
Right. So if you don't know how to say it via text, why would anybody think you know how to say it via the phone? Again,
Well, that's
they
what
have your
she
number.
said.
If she knew how to say it via the phone, she has your number.
But that's the point he making, because that was what she was telling herself. I don't want to have this conversation via text because it can get tricky. I'd rather have this conversation in person, which means she feels like she's better able to articulate her feelings with her.
So he's calling her. So he's saying, okay, I'm calling bullshit on that.
I'm calling
because
bullshit
if you didn't know how to communicate it via text, you could have called me with. Okay, I got you. Okay.
So because she's trying to say, I wanted to go to Nikki Beach with you and talk about it there, maybe. Like maybe that's what she was saying, and he's like, you could have just called me if it bothered you. Yeah.
Before I go on another date and spend more money, because you know how expensive this stuff is. You're trying to milk me for more. Like I was already planning on taking you out. Why are you trying to milk me?
Yeah. So I think that's what I took it as. He's just saying, if it was that serious, you could have just called me. You didn't have to wait for a date, to say you didn't know how to respond to something, or you wanted to communicate maybe a feeling to me, but you feel like you gotta wait to a date. Like you could have just called me.
Yeah, it's weird. If it's a bad feeling, I don't want to spend no money. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously she did it for content, but I think there's a secondary reason. At some point, there's like a little bit of like, I'm putting a public notice out here.
Oh, he needs to be on the watch list.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind her putting this one out because it's like, because he gets crazy. And it's like, if something had happened to her, he gets psycho. Number one, she's already blocked him. And so now he's reaching out via second thing. So I'm not taking no for an answer. So this is him not respecting boundaries. She's blocked him, so now he's reaching out.
Yeah, they don't know how to take care of the man. They just always have their hand out. You don't give a fuck about my feelings. I said I missed you because I actually meant it, and then you're gonna say you don't know how to respond. Well, fuck you then. You act like I said I love you, and then you said another lie saying sorry you didn't respond. What are you talking about? You literally asked again if we were going to Nikki Beach. Like,
so he peeped that. Like, no, what are you talking about? Like, she had reframed the whole text conversation as if she just said safe travels, and then like. He said, "I miss you."
I was like, she edited the conversation to make it seem like to take it down to a very simplified. Sir,
he's like, and he's picking up what you said. Like, no, y'all had a whole text exchange. Like, what are you talking about? It wasn't like you said safe travels, and I said let's go to Nikki Beach. I miss you, and then that was it. And then you didn't text me to the next day. No, they had a whole back and forth.
Right.
Like, why are you lying? Shaking my head. I just can't stand Miami. A bunch of gold digging women, lying ass women. You don't know how to respond. That's basically a slap in my face. I should have never took you out to the restaurant. I don't hear you saying, oh yeah, I had such a good time. Thanks for taking me out on my birthday, which I did say. Instead, you say, oh, I don't know how to respond. As if you have no idea, like the memory, like you have no memory of me taking you out on your birthday. That's disrespectful. What part of that don't you understand? I swear I can't make this shit up. Shaking my head. That was a $500 dinner. And then I'm annoyed at your response. Then because I'm annoyed at your
Yeah.
Because he a goof troop. And a psycho.
Yeah.
So he peep. I mean, he could be peeping what she doing. And he's right. He might be right, but he's still a fucking psycho. And he need to be on the list. Yeah. And I'm cool with her outing him. Because, girl.
Yeah. Because this is only the second of probably about 8 different ways that he reaches out to keep cussing her out.
Everything. Like I said, if he would have just left it, maybe even before he got to the point where he started calling her this and this and that. If he clearly picked up what she was putting down, even if he would have just communicated with that to be like, I'm good, that's it. Despite all the red flags he clearly was throwing, I still would have been like, okay. But yeah, everything from the point of what he said originally is just crazy.
Oh yeah.
Your response, I'm aggressive. You really know how to make a man feel great. I mean, I already was feeling great, but then you said that shit, and it's like, damn, you don't miss me, because if you did, you would have just said I miss you too. And you pulled away when I tried to kiss you. So yeah, you're just trying to use me like every other Black American girl. Y'all just want to use me. I'm sure you're with a bunch of guys anyway. At this point,
man,
you guys, these messages, I don't even think y'all can see. This is a long ass fucking thread. I blocked the WhatsApp, but we're still not done. Once I block the WhatsApp, I start getting text messages again, this time from a whole different number. Learn how to.
So she's blocked his number. He reaches out on WhatsApp. She blocks him on WhatsApp. So now this is number 3.
Now you're getting the Google Voice numbers. You can get a Google Voice number quick.
Yeah, real quick.
treat a man who wants to spend on you, bitch, because clearly you're a fucking worthless talking about you don't know how to respond. Then you responded fine talking about take you to Nikki Beach, stupid ass bitch. That's why your ex left you. You're a fucking waste. Like, here I am trying to show you that I care, and then you're gonna be like, you don't know how to respond. Like I said, I love you. Like, bitch, you see I care about you, and then you say that shit. That's not cool. Fuck you. No sorry, no nothing. Black women are really worthless. They don't care about the man.
Girl.
Right.
What is happening?
Psycho gonna
You guys,
psycho.
literally at this point, I'm shook as fuck because I'm like, who did I go out on a date with?
A stalker.
And
A stalker,
literally, I knew that this was the underlying energy, which is why even before he started calling me out of my name in the initial text, I just went ahead and deaded it because I knew there was some underlying incel energy here, but I did not expect all of this.
I knew
she
that he
should
had
have
this type
deaded
of
it
energy.
in the DM. You shouldn't have went out with no nigga in your DMs.
Shouldn't have.
Especially if you got a huge
free
following
treatment
on social media.
Yeah, even if she don't, it's goofy. It's goofy behavior. And the emphasis on it, yeah.
Bitch. I mean, I heard she's Southern when she said that. I was like, oh yeah, she's Southern. That's a Southern bitch.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Typical Miami.
It's so much worse. Like, we're still not even to the kicker yet. Block that number, and then I get another text from another number. You worthless fat bitch. Fuck you and your family, bitch. Next time, learn how to treat a man. That's why your stupid ass is single and you're only good for quick sex. You don't give a fuck about me, then why ask me to take you to Nikki Beach? I said, you're sick. If you message me again, I'm calling the police.
Okay, now this is where it should stop.
That's it, girl.
I'm calling the police. Don't reach out to me again.
Okay, so next time, call the police.
Because I never asked you to take me anywhere. You said, let's chill when we get back. And I confirmed plans that you had already made in the past. Like I said, guys, I was never not interested in the guy. I only became disinterested once we started with you Black American women are just, whoa.
That's the first red flag she noticed.
Now we're back at it again with another number. What is this, number 4? Number 4? Black women in America are complete trash. They're always putting down another Black man. I don't give a fuck about no big tits, no big ass. I just wanted a nice, genuine relationship where we support each other. And then you're going to tell me I don't know.
Now he's a liar.
Because he just said you ain't good for number quick sex. So then you picked her for quick sex.
Or thought he did. Or thought he, because he saw her on IG. And yeah, exactly. Because he's a fresh and fitter.
How to respond. You're basically saying you don't give a fuck about me. I already told you I was on vacation. You knew that. Blocked. Okay. Next number. I said I missed you because I haven't seen her talk to you in a bit, but you knew damn well I was going to Colombia, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right. Next number. Then you talking about something you don't know how to respond. Bitch, you knew damn well I was in Colombia. What the fuck are you talking about? And you could have messaged me too. Jay, call me. Sends me his original number. Y'all, at this point, I'm like, I know this man is not about to make a 5th number to contact me, but yes, he is. Yes, he is. See, that's why your punk ass is single. Ain't no real nigga taking you seriously. You got big tits, great, but how you expect me to feel if you're gonna act like I'm a stranger? And because I'm bothered by something, you say I'm aggressive. Like, you're a dumb bitch. Why would I want to date someone who doesn't acknowledge how I feel? You're just looking for a quick handout, a free meal. Go fuck yourself. You're not gonna get that from me. That's why your punk ass is single. You're just talking shit with your little bullshit homegirls and using men. And then when I call you to talk about it like an adult, you ignore the call. Typical trash woman. Before I keep going, I just want to say, if I was genuinely on some gold digger shit, I would have just messaged back and said, yeah, let's go ahead and go to Nikki Beach. Like, y'all literally see.
She does a little bit on gold digger shit, not all the way.
Yeah, like there's this thing in the cards, like you said, the indulgent thing. So that's what it is. Like, to the degree that each woman thinks she's worth indulging upon is how much she's closing in on gold digger status, but she doesn't recognize that. Like, I'm asking to be indulged upon without reciprocity, and they don't recognize that as gold digger behavior. So everybody's justified it to a certain level. So like being lavish on a date probably didn't make her feel like that was beyond the pale for a stranger. A stranger spending a $500 date on you, that didn't feel. She thinks she's worth that, but it's like worth that.
She maybe indulges herself in a very high amount of money, so it also has her skewed as far as what she thinks is reasonable. Or she just didn't know how much he even spent. I mean, I looked at the menu. I'm trying to figure out how the date was $500 because it wasn't like super crazy.
Dang, like $75 plates.
A salmon like entree was like $31.
Oh, they had to rack up. They had to buy what, a couple bottles of wine, maybe then?
That's why I'm thinking he must have had an Airbnb, because it ain't no way.
Yeah.
It's no like how you spend $5. He must have got that wasn't his apartment. He had an Airbnb. There's no way. Right. Yeah, he's talking about I'm not being aggressive, sir. You were.
Yeah, I'm not being aggressive, bitch.
Aggressive.
Bitch.
Right.
You black bitch.
Fat like, bitch. God damn.
Hope you and your whole family die, bitch. I'm not aggressive.
His picture on the thumbnail, Rico. We seen them. I ain't even have to see them. Oh, let me feed the cat. I'll be back. I'm sure by the time I come back, we'll just be getting to the call.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I make Dollar Tree videos, and I'm a gold digger. Like, please.
There you go.
Y'all, I blocked number. We are going on to number 6. Punk ass bitch. You mad because I said I miss you? Go fuck yourself. You never liked me. Stop lying, trying to find any excuse to block. And I can't express myself. Why the fuck am I with you, bitch? You want me to take you to the beach and you don't even know your place.
It was a date.
So I say, keep harassing me and the police will be at your address for Jerome King. And I send him.
Now, again, she's already threatened the police. And he's on number 8. He's on the eighth way he's contacted her.
His address. Leave me alone. You do not have my consent to contact me again. Number 6.
Now, she already knows he doesn't take no for an answer. Just telling him that without calling the police is stupid.
Lame ass fat bitch from Virginia. If you don't miss me, then why you asking me to take you to Nikki Beach, you ungrateful bitch? You're a quick fuck. You ain't nobody to take seriously. Fuck you and everybody you know. I don't know why you wasted my fucking time in the first place if you wasn't interested. You never liked me. You just wanted money and free shit out of me. Saying you don't know how to respond and I'm not being insecure at all. That's all you being a bitch. I hit you up yesterday nice and calm and then you say you don't know how to respond after I say I miss you. Like, what the fuck? You're a clown. You need fucking help, bitch. Are y'all dealing with this? Is this happening out there? Like, I have never dealt with this. Y'all, I have dealt with some things from men. I have dealt with some things, but I have never dealt with this. Number 7. That's exactly why you're single, you ungrateful bitch. Fuck you and your family. Kill yourself, bitch, dumb cunt. You're only good for sex and it probably sucks anyway. Oh, that's right, because you don't know. Talking about I'm only good for sex.
God.
But you don't know. You didn't hit.
But he's not aggressive.
Number 8. Fuck you and your mother, you lame ass gold digger bitch. I fucking hate black women. Kill yourself. Why would you try to leave me on if you're not really interested? God. I don't know why black women always try to fuck me over. American women, every single time. Y'all, we still haven't got to the worst part because I definitely had to save the best for last. But I just wanted to do a little interlude here and say that there is obviously some deep-rooted trauma.
Yeah, dude got problems. Dude's obviously got problems, and he listens to Fresh and Fit. That's already a problem right there. Even if he was perfectly normal before, consuming Fresh and Fit for a long period of time is problematic to your mental health because they're idiots. You don't need consent to contact someone. What law school did you go to? Now, you don't need consent to contact someone, but if you are harassing somebody, that's against the law. So if they've asked you to stop contacting them and you keep contacting them when they've told you to stop, it is harassment, especially when you're telling them to kill themselves. So, I mean, you know. So I believe she has dealt with similar before. Not exactly similar. She never dealt with that because she probably ran over them other dudes. Probably. Ever been on the internet? This is par for the course. So yeah, she's being contacted. She should have gone to the police like 3 numbers ago. She should have filed a restraining order. She should have signed. I mean, this is harassment at this point. He hasn't threatened to hurt her himself, but the fact that he's going through all these numbers to contact and harass her, it's weirdo behavior, and it's not okay. But there's a lot of weirdos. Like Greg said, there's a lot of weirdos on the internet. A lot of weirdos, and he's one of them.
And hurt going on with Jerome, and I'm wishing him the very best, and I'm wishing him some healing. I don't know who hurt him before, but the fact that I'm getting all of this energy means he must have a lot of leftover residual energy for somebody else. He did tell me on our first date that his ex went and got a BBL and she switched up on him. So I don't know if there's still some unresolved feelings with
BBL
that,
Drizzy.
but I don't know what I did to deserve that. That was insane.
It was.
But it gets even more insane, y'all. When I tell y'all it gets even worse, he admits to me that while he was in Colombia, he was pretty much soliciting women. And then he sends me videos of naked women that he is smashing while he was in Colombia. Now, I have not watched these videos because ew, but literally sent me multiple videos. I can see from the frame, the first frame, that he is having sex with multiple Spanish women in this video. Then he proceeds, but I come back here and you talking about you don't know how to respond. Like, B, give me my effing money back for taking you out. Effing loser.
Now I'm not opposed to that. Now we found out recently that if a dude has spent money on 2 dates and doesn't pay for the third, that a woman is within her rights to send him an invoice for half of the money. So I'm okay with him sending her like, hey, I want a request for half of that money back. Like, I want half of that money back. I'd be okay with that.
I can't stand Black American women. They're all effing trash. That's why I learned Spanish, B, because of dumbass Black women like you. I come back ready to take you out and you're going to tell me you don't know how to respond. B, kill yourself. I can't wait to move the F out of Miami. A lot of you fat women think you're really something and then you treat good men like you're going to say you don't know how to respond as if I did something wrong. B, I went to Colombia. What the F do you mean you don't know how to respond? Of course you know how to respond, because if you knew I was in Colombia and you wanted to talk to me, you could have texted. That's why I said F you and your family, because.
Okay, so see, Bree, he did take it that way. He's stupid.
What he say?
He said, you said, I didn't know how to respond. You could have just texted me. You have my number. No, he's an idiot. So you gave him too much credit. When you said that he was like, when he was,
I mean, I already know he's an idiot because he deal with Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, but he's
dumb. But he was also picking up the vibes, and she was on bullshit.
He's picking up the vibes, but that's dumb. Like, he's still saying you could have just texted me. They were already texting.
And also, so this man is like, how long into an emotional rant at this point?
I mean, he's on what, number 10 or 11? Like,
yeah,
it's wild.
Stuff started to get weird. I mean,
and sending porn. He's already sent the porn.
Yeah, so at this point he's spiraling. This is the time in an emotional rant where logic is not logicking. So I'm gonna take kind of what he said more before he really blew a gasket.
Gotcha.
As more accurate versus now. This is an emotional rant.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you're a effing dumb bitch saying stupid ass shit. And you're going to do the same shit to the next nigga as if it's cool. No guy wants to hear, oh, I don't know how to respond. And you're saying it's not that serious. If it's not that serious, then why you're blocking? Passive aggressive loser ass Black bitch. You're fucking broke acting like you're a fucking model. Where's the fucking model money, bitch? Ain't no fucking model, bitch. I look better than you. You're fatter than me. Go on a diet. You don't know how to respond. Honestly, I wish those women from Colombia were over here. That way you really wouldn't know how to respond, because I would never hit your dumb ass up. What the fuck are you going to do for me besides ask me to take you to a new place, then try to pull away when I ask you for a kiss? I got to get the fuck out of Miami. You saying, if you're going to say you don't know how to respond.
Jesus Christ.
This is what got me. I effed almost 20 B's in Colombia. You think I'm pressed over you? I was trying to be nice to you, B, but you just effing ruined it like every other Black American bitch. Trash. As if I'm supposed to prove something to you, like I have something to prove. Bitch, I was the only one who acknowledged you on your birthday, and I took your punk ass out, ungrateful bitch.
She wild.
At this point, I realized that this literally had nothing to do with me and everything to do with whatever internal battle he was going through. So I just sent him the link to betterhelp.com. Bear with me, y'all. We almost there, I think. Typical Black woman, putting the Black man down. That's why you're single. Go F yourself. I'm not taking your punk ass and Nikki Beach. Fuck you. You're the one hitting me up, bitch. I don't need no help. You're just a quick. Really wanted to get to know me, you would have hit me up or texted me. I messaged you another video. Can y'all see? Another video. If you really wanted to get to know me, you would have hit me up or texted me. I messaged you in Colombia too. As soon as I get back, you say we still on for Nikki Beach. You never even texted or called me. I said, fuck it, let's go anyway. And then instead of saying you missed me, you say you don't know how to respond. How tacky are you, bitch? I told you I fucking miss you, and then you say you don't know how to respond. Jay, kiss my big Black ass. I spent $500 on that dinner, actually more, because we went and drank at the other bar again. It is a big deal, bitch. True. I said, how you miss me, but you fucked 20 women in Colombia? Not gonna lie, this response was kind of funny. He said, bitch, I could have fucked 40 women in Colombia. I still fucking miss you. Nah, because that's men for you, bro.
That was legit. That was legit. He was having sex with some women, but he couldn't have no conversation with them. He probably don't even know Spanish. He's not getting up the whole porn stash. Yeah, he is. He can't let him go on no more trips, Rico. Lock him out. But obviously blocking him doesn't do anything. So I don't know how you're going to resolve that. He's very resourceful.
That's meant for you. You don't let somebody take you out and then you say, I don't know how to respond. Like, what the fuck? You miss me. Like, what? Because we had a great time, but the way you responded was mad cold. And like, oh, okay, I see you're aggressive. So bye. You know damn well I'm not aggressive.
He's not aggressive.
I took your punk ass out. Wasn't no goddamn aggressiveness with me. I could have even left your ass to go fuck another girl with my homeboy. Like I said, y'all, there was some signs during the date that I definitely ignored
You think?
But I was respectful and I cared about.
You think? She's like, I just ignore stuff at the date.
I want to get to these voice messages. I think it's Ryan here. She ain't talking.
Weirdo.
Yeah. Let's see.
Showing your true colors. So now let y'all hear where he starts to send me the voice messages.
Let's see. Let's read this out. I was honest with you, what you claimed you want, but the honesty is what has you upset. Bro, like, you're not making no fucking sense.
Now, again, she wants genuine people. She wants genuine daters. 100% this dude cries at his male friends.
Thing is, you're asking me to take you out to Nikki Beach. Then you're saying, like, what are you saying? It's like, but the honesty is what has you upset. Bitch, what do you mean honesty? Why the fuck would I want to take a bitch out to Nikki Beach?
And it's this dude in the brown.
If she doesn't even like give a fuck about the last time I took her out. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any fucking sense to you? Silly goose.
Silly
goose. You said silly goose.
You didn't feel like I missed you. Bitch, I went to Colombia. How many times do I have to fucking tell you that?
Oh my God.
I went to Colombia. What you think? I'm maybe hitting you up in Colombia? The fuck? But I didn't know that. I blocked you because this is not the man I went on a date with. Bitch. Do you not realize what you said? You fucking literally just said, oh, I don't know how to respond. How the fuck do you think I'm supposed to feel? That's what I'm saying. You don't empathize. You don't think about how the other person feels. What makes you think I'm like ready to just like, you know, change up, take a shower, change up and take your ass to Nikki? Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be fair, bro. There's got to be a return of investment. If I fucking take you out and spend all this money on you, buy gifts, buy you fucking clothes, whatever.
He didn't buy me nothing, guys.
No, he probably bought some for the women in Colombia. All of y'all women are the same to him at this point. Because he like Bree said, he's in mid-rant. But he spent a lot of money. There's a transaction. He wants a return on the investment. People are investing their time and attention and money on you. They want something in return. Like this is transactional stuff. You can't keep being blind to it. He falling in love with this. I can't stand y'all. He is wilding.
It's got to be something in return, bro. Otherwise,
got to be something in return.
Am I putting all this money into?
What is he pouring into?
You don't even give a fuck about me. You don't even like miss me. You couldn't even say, "Oh, I miss you too." You couldn't even say that. Like,
So he's not getting sex. He's not getting emotional empathy or attention. He's not getting like the girlfriend experience. Like, what is she giving him in that transactional relationship? What is she giving? What?
She looks good.
But he's in Colombia. He can't transact off of her looking good when he's out of the country. She wasn't sending no pics. I bet she ain't sending no pics.
Clown. Let's see what you said. I blocked you because this is blah blah blah. We literally had conversations about capitalism and materialism, and I told you I wasn't into that. It doesn't matter what you tell me, woman. It matters what you show me. You literally said, I don't know how to respond. That tells me right there, you don't give a fuck about anything that happened before. That's what that fucking tells me. Is that right or wrong? Or then tell me what you meant when you said you don't know how to respond.
One day.
That makes no fucking sense, bro.
He is not regular. He's not guarding the right black. I don't care what his name is. He don't sound like it.
You need help, bitch.
He got an Arab daddy or something.
He from the bird.
Oh, nah, he got an Arab daddy or something. I hear that accent.
I just told you the return of investment has to be correct. Come on, bro. Like
his daddy might be black.
Imagine if Drake took you out. You know, no. Would you have told him, oh, I don't know how to respond? No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't.
But she would.
Myron.
That's true.
That's Myron cousin right there. He ain't all the way black.
Of course I'm gonna call you out your name. You disrespecting me. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. I just told you the return of investment has.
Hey, she said, take a shot every time he calls me out my name. I'm already 2 shots behind. Jesus, we could.
Jerome, what's his name? Jerome. What?
Jerome King.
Jerome King. He got to have an Arab mama or something. I hear that accent. That's not an American accent.
He sounds just like Myron.
And Myron's not all the way black.
He's
what
not.
He Arab and black or something?
No.
What
I think he's Arab. I don't think he's any black.
Oh yeah, he got an Arab nose. I was like, this guy sounds Arab to me. See, this where Kendrick is. We need to stop claiming these niggas. Where's
they
Kendrick?
Not like us.
He's not like us. He ain't my people. This is not my people. I don't know what his.
You better claim Jerome. His name is Jerome.
His daddy might be black, but his mama is not. He
black
ain't
Americans.
regular black.
Jerome King. We have to accept the Jerome King.
Where he from?
Name alone.
Where he from?
Western Union.
What he sound like he from?
Jerome King. He sound like he's from the suburbs.
No, I'm talking about when he talk. Nah, when he talk.
That's what I'm saying. He's from the suburbs of some city.
He sound like Fresh and Fit. Myron.
He does. No, he sounds like he sound like Fresh and Fit. No, that's true.
Who grew up in America?
But Myron doesn't sound Arab.
Yes, he do.
No, he don't.
He has an accent of somebody who doesn't have a purely American accent.
Nah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, it sounds Arab. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. All right. I'll eat that.
Has to be correct. Come on, bro. Like you're being a fucking idiot. Imagine if Drake took you out. You know, would you have told him, oh, I don't know how to respond? No, you wouldn't have. You would have acknowledged him, and you would have said, hey, what's up?
Acknowledge me.
I know you were in Colombia. I miss you too. You know. Damn, bitch.
Nah, that's not American like that.
This true color shit, bitch. This is me. I've never changed, bitch.
Oh my god.
I've never fucking changed.
I'd be drunk.
You switched up, talking about well, I don't know how to respond. You know, it's been like a week and a half. I'm just so clueless.
We don't claim him.
Like what the fuck are you saying? You sound like a fucking clown.
He not
and
black.
Clown. That is so Myron. All he does is listen to Fresh and Fit.
Or is he listen to them that much where he done picked up his accent where he is not fully American? I dated a guy who was first generation American, but he was from like Bulgaria. Most of the time you can't tell. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a crazy thick accent, but it's always some weird the way he talk. Where's Kendrick? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He ain't full black.
Oh, so let me see.
He ain't full black.
Picture? I must have just copied.
He African, he Arab, he's something. It's something in there where they be beating women ass. That's in there somewhere. It's in the back. I feel it.
Sharia law. God.
He got that Sharia law energy. He done seen that somewhere. It came up out the DNA. It's real. It's a little off.
Yeah. If you freak out like this over somebody you've only met one time, I probably would never talk to you again. Like honestly, if you're a male friend of mine and you flip out like this over one date, I would have a hard time. Like I would have a hard time dealing with like, bro, like you made 10 numbers. Like unless she stole money from you, and you're like, hey, I need my money back. Nah, get out of here.
Yeah, for his undertones weren't pink, Greg. That's y'all American whites.
But
I got something for you. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's y'all American whites with all that pink everywhere.
Yeah, so I want to skip to the end. I want to hear what she says real quick, but at the 42-minute mark, there's something that she says that
she
it caught my ear.
The police. I want to know when she called the police.
At one point she did. I don't think she gave a timeline, but she did mention that she says, I can't.
That's what I'm curious to know. Like, at what point did she's like, I need to call the police now? I wonder if it was like when she told him, if you reach out to me again, I'm calling the police, or if it was
she did that at least twice. Yeah, it might have been a while, probably because she did that at least twice. Because after you left Feed the Cat, she said that again, like 2 phone numbers later.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hoping we could just have a conversation about where we see things going, you feel me, being like just super honest about the rate and speed that we want to progress things. I didn't know that was like such a offense. Yeah. And there's parts of this where, I kikied and I laughed and all of that stuff. But honestly, none of this is really funny. The police came over and I filed a case report. And I could kind of tell that they also weren't taking it that serious. And I just watch a lot of true crime, you feel me? I study psychology. I just see the type of
She did
behaviors that are
know he
red
was a
flags,
psycho.
and this is beyond
Man,
red
listen, Bree, don't get Yella to take a break at work and then pop up here talking about
She the one
y'all's
who said she
lousy
watched.
intuition.
She watched. She said she watched true crime and she
But that's
studied
what I'm saying.
psychology.
It doesn't matter how much expertise y'all say y'all have. Like y'all's decisions will never be informed by what y'all think y'all know.
I'm not a woman.
The intuition,
so you're not talking about me.
psychology, criminal justice. Like she could do all the studies.
She got no degrees.
Like, all the studies.
She got a YouTube degree.
She could have a master's degree. Honestly, I promise you, she could have a little PhD in psychology and still be making this decision. I've seen it too many times.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen it far too many times.
Because people don't see things as connected. Like most people see
Yes.
each individual thing as its own thing,
Mhm.
and they don't like usually transfer skills and knowledge across realms. You know, that's a higher level of thinking.
Yeah. So she watches true crime. So
She know how people end up dead.
Yeah. So the threat, like he's a possible threat. He's a man. He's worse than a bear. She can perceive that because that's kind of socially ingrained. But none of the red flags that lead to him being worse than a bear, she couldn't pick up on any of those. So that goes to like there's something akin to alexithymia, like how men can't pick up on emotions. Women are like socially cue blind as well. There's something to it where y'all can only see the most obvious. Yeah. There's something
Too late by then. You already engaged.
Yeah.
That's why I said, because for me, once again, the dynamic in which they met and was talking, he's a stalker. And even if he wasn't a stalker, there was just always a high chance he would be this way because of the environment in which you met him or how you met him. So it just always was not, to me, that would be too high of a risk to engage in. You know, unless he was maybe another public figure himself, where you could also, just as much as he can look at you, you can spend some time looking at him, possibly, you know. But just a regular guy who just jumped in your DM and you got this huge following, girl, you was already in danger. In danger from the jump.
And I know women don't like having like after something has happened. So nothing's happened here. So I'm going to take the opportunity to question her behavior and participation in this dynamic, since nothing actually happened to her.
Right.
Because after the fact, everybody's like, don't victim blame. Why would you ask her what she did? Blah blah blah. Like she engaged with his stuff. She kept, when he kept changing numbers, she would keep responding and going back and forth with him at different points.
Yeah.
Don't engage. Like, and all the red flags she ignored. There are points like Greg saying, poor survival skills. Like, yes. Men, there's the capacity to harm is greater in men than anything else on this planet. Okay, we accept that. Now, if we really believe that, we're going to have to move and hone our instincts and knowledge to survive these dangerous people. We can't keep saying that men are the most dangerous thing on the planet and then act like they're teddy bears. That just makes you look stupid at some point. If men are everything, all the patriarchal killers, violent, predatory, if we're all of that and you keep acting this blind, willfully ignorant, then at some point everything that happens to you is on you. At some point you're an idiot. If she went to the courthouse and filed for a restraining order, she would get one. Yeah, she should. Now, of course, he may not come around, he may not care to, but all that that's weird. All that like you said, that's internet culture. Just harassing somebody until it's ridiculous.
Flag behavior. I'm extremely disappointed because I've never been talked to this extent by a man. And it honestly makes me very, very sad and upset because these type of situations, you know, domestic disputes, verbal abuse, those type of things, I really don't respond well because I grew up in a home where there was a lot of domestic violence.
That's why she don't.
And because
that's why she don't see it until
her sensitivity is dull.
Yeah,
her sensitivity is dull. Yeah, sensitized. Thank you. She's desensitized, so it's got to be extreme for it to even register. Which, unfortunately, in the Black community, because our families and dynamics are so toxic, a lot of us are like that. It's got to be extreme for us to pick up on like problems. It's so sad. It's sad. I hate that.
Because man, I'm telling you, it take the littlest thing for my kids. Well, I didn't grow up in an environment like that either, and they'd be like, "You just got talked too loud."
Yep.
I'd be like, "I'm sit down. We done."
Yeah.
So yeah, that explains why she's desensitized to it.
Because of that, that's always been something that's extremely triggering for me. Like in my last relationship, we literally never argue, like not to this extent. Of course, we.
That last thing was
That's
weird.
how you. It's like you.
Oh God, that was weird.
We disagree. We had lots of disagreements, but as far as the way that we express, our disagreements, we never really called each other out of our name. Like I'm trying to think.
You were in a relationship with the guy. Hopefully, if you have a decent relationship, they're not calling you out of your name. That's abnormal. That's not normal behavior. It's like her even comparing that to this is stupid. But
the worst argument that we had, even when breaking up,
doesn't matter.
Is me, because the fact that he feels so comfortable, coming at me like this means that he has had these type of interactions with women before.
When he's rejected, he does that.
The crazy thing is, when I went to his apartment, I actually texted one of my friends. I told them his full name and I gave them, the link to my location, which is how I knew where his location was, his address.
So
I'm not going in if I'm not helping y'all catch him after I'm dead. I'm trying not to be dead. I hate that logic. Well, if you do, I'm not trying to help me be on the true crime show. I'm trying to not die. If you got to do all that, girl, that's your brain is like, you're in danger.
Yeah, you're in danger. You're in danger.
You felt
you
the
don't
need
even know
to
this
do
guy.
all that.
Yeah.
But
and it's because you don't know the guy. You don't know the guy. Why are you at his place? You don't know him. You don't know him.
That's like classic cognitive dissonance. Like your whole brain had enough to do that, but not
you don't know him, and nobody knows him. So he has nobody to hold him accountable except the law.
That could be a fake name and a fake place.
All
that
of
could
it
be an Airbnb.
All of it. It's crazy.
Like if he really was a serial killer, that's not gonna be good enough.
Not gonna be good enough. But it's stupid.
More than likely didn't take you to where he actually lives.
But that's so stupid.
More than likely didn't give you a real name.
But this is where we are, though. This is where we are. These are the adults. These are adult women and adult men. These are how people are starting to show up.
And what your friends gonna do?
Give to the police, because I did kind of have some intuitive feelings, and they're historians. Of you need to make sure that you're safe with this guy. Just
what? The historians.
This white guy, it was like the best life advice I ever got in my life. This white guy, he was like, I worked in a restaurant. He was older. He was like, just remember, police are historians. He always would tell me that. So when shit would go down, he would be like, because he would be like, what are you gonna do? Because like we worked in a restaurant and sometimes stuff would happen. He'd be like, what are you gonna do? And people be like, well, I'm gonna call the police. He's like, they're historians. So what are you gonna do before the people to record what happened to you come? So it's just like, girl, that's not what the police do.
Yeah. They try to solve the crime. They don't even have a good rate. It's like 50%.
They don't even have a good rate. Yeah. So I always say that, like, they're historians, girl. You're gonna be dead.
Yeah. Ooh, that's sad. She's getting ready to say something about the genuineness, because genuine's a big thing for her, and like you pointed out, she's one of the most inauthentic people. But let's see.
Because like I was telling y'all, he was a little more touchy than I would have liked, or just trying to like kiss me and make sexual remarks and stuff. And when I would say, please just treat me like a lady, just keep it cute, and we would like kind of laugh it off or whatever. Like he would. So
she would indirectly try to communicate that she was uncomfortable with it, but
what
didn't.
Does keep
so
it
that's
cute
not genuine.
Mean?
What does that mean?
Keep it cute, mean? Like you want me to kiss you like cuter, or like you want me to rub your thigh cutely,
or treat me like a lady. What does that mean? What does that mean? Because a lady like female, or a woman.
I mean, he's treating
you
like
a woman of class, or a woman of class who wouldn't wear the stuff you're wearing.
Because then there's like ladies of the night, and then there's like
ladies of the night, which So I mean, what all this vague terminology is not meaningful to somebody who's clearly signaling sexual interest.
Right.
Like, all this is silly. So if you're not willing to outrightly say, I'm not interested in having sex with you, or at least, like, I'm not attracted to you, like, you're not genuine at all. Yeah, you're not genuine at all. Quit going out with people that you don't want touching you. Like, that's what Erica Lachey lady. Quit going out with people that you don't want touching you.
But then, like, also don't reward bad behavior.
Yeah.
Like, this whole time you've been rewarding his bad behavior this whole time.
Yes.
Which is reinforcing the bad behavior, regardless of what you say.
How dare you come into my tits?
It's just like, girl, that's not good. When he kept passing, you just kept rewarding him with more of your attention and more of your time and going into the apartment and like
giving him a ride. Like, oh my God.
He's responding.
And then going out for drinks.
Like, you're rewarding his bad behavior, girl.
And then want to go out for another date. Like, what are you talking about?
Chill for the moment, and then it will like come back. What I'm learning in this is that if it's not a full yes, if it's not a full I'm comfortable, if it's not a full, I can see this going to the next level, then there's no reason to take things further.
That's an important lesson. I'm glad she learned it with the transaction. If you're not willing to transact with the person, don't deal with them.
Yeah.
Do not come.
Do
not come.
Which I thought this was, it used to be understood that you should have interest in a person to go on a date.
It used to be.
Yeah.
But now people date for different reasons.
Yeah.
And nobody's communicating that.
Mm-hmm. And that's why the people are getting so enraged, because they're being gaslit.
Yes.
And they're like, can't we just, so that's not what we're doing? Oh, okay.
I just looked up Nikki Restaurant and they don't have prices on the menu, which means they're expensive. She was trying to run the bag on them. She was on her gold digger game. Yeah, if they don't put prices on, they price it.
They say if you got to look, you can't afford it.
Yeah. Dang.
Under the assumption that people dated for fun,
Out of WhatsApp.
Now listen to that. Now,
they got a WhatsApp to make a reservation? That's crazy.
Now listen what she just said. She thought that people dated for fun.
Okay.
So what fun did she offer the guy? She didn't want him to touch her, didn't want him to kiss her, didn't want to go anywhere. Like, what are we talking about? So what it is in her head, like Bree was talking about that indulgent thing, it's fun for her. But the exchange, the transaction, she did not care about him having any fun. She didn't want to offer him anything that because he was trying to let her, you know what I think would be fun? Let's go back to my room. No, I think it'd be fun. Let's go. Let me touch on
I'm having fun.
Yeah, but she didn't. No guy just wants to sit and just pour money into some business for fun. Like without getting anything back. We're not gambling, no excitement. Like that's not the way we're cut. Like, so just giving over hundreds of dollars just to sit with you, that's weird. That's not fun. Is she fun? She doesn't seem very entertaining. She doesn't seem very interesting. I just can't see what it's been like.
Another one of them
concert
things
tickets.
Not understanding the experience of other people in the same time. Like I was saying, it's just like you think me doing this is fun for me, and it's not. I'm just doing it because, So
okay, so matter of fact, anybody who's still sitting here, would y'all pay $500 to have listened to this?
$500 for conversation.
Would y'all pay $500 to listen to her talk about her date? Like that's what she thinks is fun for the guy. Oh, he's having fun. We're dating to have fun. He's paying $500 so I can eat, he can eat, and I can sit here and talk. She's not that entertaining. She's not that engaging. I wouldn't even expect people to. I'm a dude, so I
wouldn't even pay $500 to sit down and talk to Jordan Peterson. And I love listening to Jordan Peterson.
I wouldn't either. And there's some very entertaining people. Like there's some concerts that you ain't got to pay $500 to go see. Yella's trying to go see a whole basketball game that Caitlin Clark is going to be at. It ain't $500 a ticket, but she think it's fun for this guy to pay $500 to sit in her presence, to look at the thing that she puts up on IG for free. You can go look at her boobs for free on IG. like this, and he's
What's
supposed
her
to pay
IG?
$500. Shoot, Just Jalen, JUST, and then JAILYN. So just jail YN. She's a prison. Just jail.
Oh, just jail all the time.
Just jail YN. Just jail YN.
To WhatsApp. Oh, they use WhatsApp. Everybody using WhatsApp now. What's the T?
$500 for a group of 8. See, like he did in Colombia. He had like 20 women down there. That $500 went. $500 couldn't even get him a kiss in America. $500 probably got him 20 women in Colombia. That rate of exchange is crazy. Like, that's wild.
Sorry, I couldn't do it on my computer. What was the name again?
Just Jalen, JAILYN.
Oh, okay.
Never spend money on a girl until you know she can have a conversation. Absolutely. And 500 is a lot.
Oh, so she has, okay, so she go to luxury places and stuff like that. Okay.
Maybe it's because the last time I was like casually dating, I was 21, you know, pre me being in a relationship. And a lot of the dating scenarios were very casual. Guys didn't want a relationship. They didn't want, you know, something super serious. So I went into this phase of dating with that same mindset. Because
No. Guys didn't want a relationship. They wanted sex. That's what fun meant. It was not spending $500 to eat with you. That was never fun.
It is fun.
Man, please.
Fun.
Being fresh out of a relationship, I'm not looking for a relationship either. You know, I'm not looking for, you know, someone to be the next long-term commitment, but I am looking to get to know people and just having fun and just taking things easy, slow. That's what I was looking for.
So what she's into is wasting people's time. Because you're not looking for a relationship, but you're looking to get to know people. Why? Are you looking for friends? Or are you looking to network and do business? Because see, why were you going to get to know people that you're not going to have a relationship with? That's the whole thing, either sex or relationship. Because in between is stupid. Like, why are you getting to know somebody that you don't want a relationship with, nor do you want to have sex with? And you're not doing business with either. She's a user. Yeah, absolutely. So even by her own admission, she's not genuine. She doesn't know what she doesn't know what she wants. She's a goof. Yeah, guys didn't spend $500.
Those types gonna be drawn to those types. They're gonna keep attracting each other like magnets.
I told you she had that shit coming. Yeah, she's a goof. She's a goof. Now he went way too far. He went psycho. He could have just told her off and left her alone. That would have been reasonable.
That first response or two.
That first response
would have been
what are you talking about, bro? Like, bro,
yeah,
you tripping.
That was enough. He didn't have to keep going in the persistence beyond.
Yeah. Once you start making up numbers to contact somebody, you're in the wrong. Like 9 times out of 10. Because the only thing she did was waste his time and waste his money. Like, that's what she did. And you know, he was complicit in that. Because he's a goof too. Like, taking this woman that you don't know for a $500 date is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy for a first date. That's
great. And you're right. I do blame your people because black women think they can live like white women, and
we grew up watching rich people on movies and TVs that we didn't know were rich. Like, you go back and watch a lot of the movies we grew up watching, those families had stupid money, and it was just shown to you as if they were just normal people.
Yes.
So many movies I went back and watched, like, hold on, these motherfuckers had money. You know? So that's framed a lot of our beliefs about what we're supposed to have too. So
television, movies, and the internet have the brokest of black women thinking they can live like the richest of white women.
Yeah.
And it's wild. Because you don't have white men and you're not white women.
And you're also not told that they're rich.
Yeah.
Coming up the whole time, you're looking at them. I didn't know Carrie Bradshaw was rich. I didn't know fucking
the prices to live in Manhattan.
I didn't know the cost. I didn't know Kevin McAllister's family was rich.
That house, you ain't
as
seen
a kid. I'm saying as an adult, I did. I can. But I'm saying, like, as growing up watching this, like, impressionable, because everybody was white and everybody had money in all the movies.
Yeah. I'm about to say, what I mean? I knew they were rich. I lived in the hood. I knew.
I'm saying, like, you know that they're not in the hood, but you don't know that they're rich. Like you think that they're normal, average, in the middle people. And so when you're coming up, even if you're like, I'm coming out of the hood, I'm gonna get a normal, average life. You're looking at rich people. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, you know, they're not poor, but you don't know how rich they are until you.
Got you. Yeah, you don't have you don't know how far down the hole you are.
Yeah.
Until you start climbing, and you're like, oh, I'm further down than I thought.
You like his dad a senator?
Yeah.
Oh, they got money. Yeah. Just like a lot of my favorite movies, the people were rich, and I did not know that until I was a real adult.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Rico. No, this is part of the transactional relationship space where nobody understands the nature of the transactions that they're embarking upon. We had played a video before you came, Rico, that talked about that transactions in the relationships are invisible until somebody feels like they're being cheated.
Yeah.
And this is like the illustration of that.
This was an example.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that in because it perfectly illustrated when two people are okay with the transaction to a point. She didn't want the physical side of the transaction, which is pretty much all the dude wanted. Mm-hmm. And he wanted the physical, but couldn't get any of that. So then he kind of like, I don't like that. But she pulled back on that. So both of them had an issue giving reciprocity. She was mad that he was like faking feelings, which is kind of what she must have wanted. She must have wanted the feelings, because why would you flip out on the I miss you thing, but not I'm gonna put 3 kids to you. I've never met you. Like, that's weird.
That's still weird. Wild to me to say to somebody. It's crazy.
It is.
Crazy
yeah, Roseanne growing up. I knew where I stood the whole time. Yeah.
She's like one family out of all the other ones who had buku money though.
Yeah.
Like that's Full House is crazy.
Man, it was.
Probably was expensive as fuck.
Shit, chronic time waster. Most men probably don't respond. This was the karma for all the times niggas didn't say shit. Yeah, I feel you.
Psycho. Don't go on dates with stalkers.
Yeah, don't go on dates with stalkers. For sure. But yeah, I thought that was a good illustration of the principles that we talked about earlier. Going back all the way to Kant and that Kant, whatever.
Right.
But treat people as an ends in themselves, never as the means. But she was definitely treating the old boy as the means to an end. And he peeped up on that and then he snapped. He spazzed out. Like, you don't even want me. You just want the things I can provide.
Yeah, but you should have checked on it before you started just doing all that. So you still
he did. That's his fault. Like he's
still
that's part of the part of the culture that he participates in, especially with the Fresh and Fit, is pretend or put forth because they say lead with your wallet. They do that stupid stuff. So you're supposed to put out there that you're actually transacting, and these women should respond. And that's part of the problem.
You offloading it on other people to protect your own boundaries.
Yes.
Which is if you don't want to feel used and you don't want people to waste your time and your money, don't spend your time and your money on people before they've shown you that they actually have a genuine interest in them. That would be up to you to protect your own self-worth and value and boundary, not do the thing and then blow up on people when they don't respond the way you want them to. Because now you're doing what Immanuel Kant says of you are manipulating people to justify ends for you. So he was using her as a means to an end as well.
Yep. Because he wanted sex. He didn't really care about her as a person. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why they both got the same thing from each other. They both doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But this goes back to our thing about going back to Armand versus Lestat as the masculine embodiment of danger, and I guess it goes also to Enya and bears, like she bear, she bear, and the feminine embodiment of danger. So where his threat is violence, and it was like violent language and like kill yourself. There was a lot of violent language and violent imagery. Her threat is the damage to the social reputation, like that poisoning. I'm poisoning people. I'm gonna go viral. I'm gonna make this thing about you. So I think that's another example of the male versus female dynamic. When people are in danger, they threaten differently. The male, the masculine dynamic has tendency to go towards violence, and the feminine goes more towards like poison reputation. I'm gonna poison your name. I'm gonna kill your name. I'm gonna turn people against you. Like I said, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Hang on somewhere free,
or just don't pay more than you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
Take her somewhere cheap. Take her to a dive bar. Take her to happy hour. Take her.
And if she's not willing, that means she's probably not for you anyway. Because, like you said, if you're looking out for gold diggers, quit throwing gold out.
Right.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't want
Don't
gold
dream.
diggers.
Stupid dream.
Here's the goal. Come on.
Yeah.
So dumb. Like it's offloading. It's emotionally. It's offloading all the work on the other person. And then you blow up on people that you don't have no right to be blowing up on.
Yeah.
You should have did better. If you know it's triggering for you, don't do it. Child, Lord.
Yeah. That's where we at. That's where we at in America. So we got a lot of idiots out here.
Bless y'all souls. I'm just so glad I'm married.
Yeah. But for the 5 to 7, maybe 10 people tops that are not idiots, you have the ism show. You have us. But we're all that's left. We're the remnant. Nah, but Bree, is there anything you wanted to talk about before we headed out? Anything on the,
No, I think it's good. Like people, it's so transactional. I don't think people know. I don't think most people have an end that they either want to acknowledge out loud, or sometimes it's just no direction for themselves, and so you either end up using people, like on purpose, or sometimes unknowingly, So I think this was a good example of but it's not about who's right or wrong. They're both wrong to me, and they're both gonna keep attracting the equal opposite of themselves. And that's what I like. People need to realize they're attracting their equals, not the same.
Yes.
Like you're attracting your
same.
equal opposite, not the same archetype as you, right?
So
a lot of times, so it's like you're gonna keep attracting these kind of men. There's something in you that you need to change, so that you don't keep attracting the men who can easily bypass your red flags or boundaries by doing the things, So unfortunately, she's, she may meet some decent guys that aren't, explosive when they don't get their way, but she may end up still running into the same general archetypes.
Because if she's going to showcase her body, she's going to get people that want access to her body. If he's going to keep showcasing money, he's going to get people that want access to the money or what the money can provide. So
and even on the positive side of what she maybe would want, of less of a guy just trying to, maybe it's a guy who can keep up with that because maybe he is successful and he wants a trophy. That's the positive side of that same idea. The guy who can afford you, but still objectifies you as the trophy. So there is really no, you know what I mean? It's all on the spectrum, and he's the one side of the spectrum. And then there may be the guy who can perform and can afford to do all that. But then you're not going to be happy with that, because then he's going to treat you like a trophy, and he's going to keep winning trophies and more things to put on the shelf next to you. And you're not going to like that either. So
I'm with that. I appreciate everybody for being here. Now we Bree, we are going to be where tomorrow? Because
we gonna be
over on your channel. Can't relate.
But I'm always cool with y'all. Just definitely be on my channel, like Hawaii,
1, 2, 3,
because it's interview with
YouTube, Twitch.
Okay. YouTube, Twitch. But of course, if y'all want to hit the live on y'all channel, feel free.
Nah.
We're having a conversation about straight men's reaction to Interview with the Vampire. So Rashawn and Yella are going to join me, and we're going to talk about the series Interview with the Vampire and their experience watching it as straight men. And it should be a fun conversation, and I'm sure my audience is going to love it.
I'm about to try to get the
right.
Get your link real quick, because my Nightbot doesn't work anymore.
It should be a good conversation. Twan's supposed to be sending me some questions he wants to ask y'all. Okay. So, D is his D&D night tomorrow. So he does Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he does D&D.
Man, I love it.
Secret nerd hobby. So he does it every Thursday.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Man,
it was Monday, so I wasn't sure. So I was like, he might be able to come, but it's his D&D night. So he's going to submit some questions for me to make sure I ask.
That's dope. So let me ask everybody in the chat, anybody that's still here, click on the link and sub up to Quiet Bree. If you want to support us and come here to conversation, we're going to be talking about a TV show. If y'all don't watch it, that's cool. We can catch y'all next time on Critically Drinking or whatever. But putting it out there, please feel free to come on through. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Oh, I do remember the gays in Game of Thrones now, but it wasn't that gay.
Well, this is a show that is, which is fascinating. It's gay. I mean, it's the main characters are gay, and all the main relationships are gay. So this is a So
so that should be cool. I'm looking forward to it. That should be fun. Friday will be Beat Bracket, where again Yella is doing something different. He's doing some kind of game I have not played. I don't know anything about it, and there's supposed to be some kind of prize that you got to get through. You have to have Cash App to get the cash prize. So come on through tomorrow on Quiet Breeze channel, YouTube or Twitch, whichever you prefer. Friday, come on back over here to Critically Drinking for my brain is just
the Beat Bracket.
Thank you.
No, it's not Beat Bracket. It's like he didn't name it.
It's a game show.
Else.
Yeah, it's a game show.
Like name that tune. I think
name that tune or something. I have not made a thumbnail, so okay. So
I haven't made a thumbnail for tomorrow. I should do that.
Oh Jesus, what's wrong with you, Greg? But
I don't have time.
But come through. Thursday got something. Friday got something. Don't have anything planned for this weekend. Rico, if you're still just listening, I'm gonna call you before Sunday. I know I'm supposed to call you, I think, this week. I know you said after Sunday, but I think it was last Sunday. So my bad. Anyways, I think that's it for us, y'all. My bad. Appreciate everybody that was in here kicking it with us. I enjoyed the conversation as always. Bree, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I think we are going to head out with something short and sweet. It is not over here. I did not put it there. Yeah,
that's what we. Not me on phone. I'm about to say that's random.
No, that was just left over from the Beat Bracket. That's funny. But yeah, not just leaving out with the Outer Limits.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.